Merry Creedmas Assassins, and welcome to episode 22 of Rally the Creed Live, the Christmas Special. We are a weekly Assassin's Creed community podcast. We focus on the content creators within the community, news, coverage, and everything else relating to the franchise. As always, a massive thank you to everyone who's been supporting the show. We really do appreciate it. I'm joined tonight by my co-host, James, Top Chef 1288 from the ones again before, team leader for the video content creation team. Welcome, James.
Hey, how we doing?
Oh, good, mate. It's great to have you back. You know, I've had a lot of fun with these episodes recently, and the Christmas one tonight. So much to get into. And this is actually one of our final episodes of 2025. So here are some of the topics we're going to be discussing. Of course, the Game Awards and the news that came from that, or lack of. So we'll be getting into that. Obviously, last week we were discussing a potential Black Flag reveal, and that didn't happen. So we'll be diving into that. We've had news regarding the Assassin's Creed Netflix show, so we'll be getting into all the actors that have been announced in that. There's been updates to Assassin's Creed Shadows recently, so the Advent Calendar and the new update which dropped today, so we'll be diving into that. A potential merger between Warner Brothers and Netflix, so that could be interesting, and we'll be discussing that. And sort of the repercussions of that, what it means for variation of streaming platforms, and if it could affect Assassin's Creed in any way. And finally, we're going to be pitching an Assassin's Creed game set during the time of Jesus Christ, so that could be an interesting one. A little bit controversial maybe, but of course we're just doing it in the spirit of Assassin's Creed lore, so hopefully you guys stick with us for that. And of course we'll be kicking off very soon with our Secret Santa presents, which almost didn't happen, so looking forward to getting into that. And
so close.
Kicking off the festive season. But before all that, how are you, James? How's your week been? And you good?
I'm good. Yeah, my week's been a mixed bag, really. We had a lot going on. One of the top stories of this week for me is that I actually couldn't find my car keys earlier on in the week. Put the dishwasher on, put the tumble dryer on, and it sounded like something was in there, like rattling away. Nicola was like, "All right, I think it's like one of the wires from her bra or something got caught." No, she goes down, takes it out, and my car keys were in the tumble dryer.
Oh no!
They'd been through the washing machine and through the tumble dryer. They were nice and toasty and warm. And they still work. So
I was going to ask you that. They still work, yeah?
Yeah, no need to panic. But yeah, I couldn't find them. I am notoriously bad for taking stuff out of my pocket. So bad. I always leave stuff in my pocket. It's usually a bank card or something gets left in there. Piece of paper that I desperately need. Yeah, I'm awful.
That's a nightmare when you do paper, because then it shreds and sticks to all your clothes.
Goes everywhere, yeah.
That's a bad one. We've got a question already, James. What kind of car do you drive?
So we have a family car. It's I want to say it's a Toyota Proacer. Yeah. Yeah. So it's like a converted van almost. Because there's 4 kids. Me and my partner, so we have enough space for everybody. Yeah, nothing fancy, nothing special.
You'd have been stuck really if your keys had broken in the wash.
Oh yeah, well luckily Nicola's got a set as well, but yeah, I would have been screwed.
Not ideal. So you've had work today, haven't you?
Yeah, I have had work. Work has been busy this week. Like the last 3 weeks has been really busy. We are gearing up for Christmas. My last day for Christmas holiday is Monday, but everybody else at work breaks up on the Friday. So we're getting Christmas parties, all sorts. I had a small one today for 85, so nothing huge, nothing massive. No.
It's more people than I know.
Yeah. So nothing too spectacular on that one. So I also have some news that I need to share with everybody. So as everybody who knows my lives and stuff over the last couple of weeks and what have you, we've been talking about our wedding next year, which we're getting married in Warwick Castle. Last Friday, I was so tired after work. I came home, went to sleep. Nicola was on her phone and brought some tickets for a competition on TikTok called Elite Competitions or something. And she brought these tickets. About 10 to 10, she got a phone call. Like, Nicola was like, nobody ever calls me at this time. Who is it? Yeah. So she answered. They said it was elite competitions on the phone, and they were like, you've won some money. Nicola was like, hold on, what's going on? So Nicola goes onto TikTok, finds they're live, and on the live, like pretty much like where I am now, there's like a list of winners.
Wow.
And Nicola's name was on the list of winners. It's like, how much and then they tell us how much we've won. It was £10,000.
What?
And Nicola literally nudged me to wake me up, and I was half asleep, and I was just like, yeah, sure, okay. I hadn't really settled in or whatever. Nicola gets a text an email a couple of hours later, like, we need your photo of your ID, your bank details, so we can send the money over.
Oh God, this is where I'd be getting really worried,
Saturday morning, I'm at work. I'm doing breakfast. It's 8:30 in the morning. Nicola sends me a screenshot of her phone with when you get the notifications for your banking app.
Mm-hmm.
That had come up with £10,000 has been deposited into your bank.
They actually did it then?
Yeah.
Wow, oh, that's amazing, guys. Congratulations.
So that's literally that's like the wedding paid for now.
Wow.
Yeah. It was like, I couldn't even, like, I can't really believe it now.
That's amazing. Oh, I thought you were going to tell me it was like some scam or something.
No. This is why I wanted this is why I was like, Nicholas, like, have you told Cole yet? I was like, no, I need to tell him what. This is a great story to say on the live. This is going to be brilliant.
That's fantastic, guys. So 10K, what are you going to do with it?
It's literally gone into. We have a savings account, which is the wedding fund, and it's literally gone into there like straight away.
That's cool.
I didn't see any of it. It just went straight into there, which is.
Is that like an ISA? Because you could be making some decent interest.
Yeah, so it is an ISA.
Nice.
It's building up. The wedding's expensive. We get married in a castle.
Yeah.
So this has helped out massively, considering a couple of weeks ago we had to spend like $2,000 on getting the car fixed.
Yes, of course.
And all these different things. So this has been a massive weight off our shoulders. It's been great.
Oh, that's absolutely amazing. Yeah. Honestly, guys, that's incredible.
Yeah.
What a week then.
I know, right?
10K rolling in.
Yeah, and then basically if Nicola, we're getting, one of those like comical giant checks.
Yeah.
Nicola's getting one of those sent out to her. If she does a video for them to say that she's a winner and they'll send her, I think it was like 20 or £40 worth of free tickets for other competitions. Like, this is great. This is brilliant.
That is great. I thought you were going to tell me it's like a scam or something.
No.
That's fantastic, mate. That is literally your wedding sorted, isn't it? And
yeah,
like say with castle hire, and you're telling me about sword creation as well. Yeah. You guys have got loads of like really cool plans for the wedding, so that's fantastic. That's pretty much covered now.
That is pretty much it. Yeah, and to top that off, I've been having great weeks with my recent Assassin's Creed streams. They're going really well. I've had a couple of big names pop up in my in my live. So
me.
So there's new. There's I've had AC Johnny pop into my live. I've had Billy's been in my live. Arshak's been in my live. This is something I never thought would be so, like, I'd ever be able to do, and to have such big names in the community like come into my lives and speak to me and know my name and stuff. It's surreal. Great. Yeah.
It shows the influence of the podcast and the ones that came before, and also hard work, because you put loads of effort in as well, and like boosting your own profile, and you passed 1,000, I think it was, on TikTok. Is that right?
We're on 1,120 as of
very good
right now. So yeah, this has been hard. Like, yeah, it's not just something. It is down to the podcast and LinkedIn and stuff and all these different things that I've been able to speak to, but it's hard work. Like,
it's all coming together, isn't it, now? And you're seeing the fruits of it and the payoffs. That's really cool.
It's going really well. So is there anything that you need to talk about this week? What news have you got for this week?
Nothing as exciting as a 10K lottery win. Was it lottery? What would you call it?
Oh, no, it was just basically, from what I understand, it was a competition. They do different competitions. So they do, you can win a car or you can win a house, or there's like loads of different competitions. I think Nicholas said the next one is you win tonight you get to win a Rolex watch.
Cool.
But apparently this particular competition was 10 winners, £10,000 each.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible. You have to send me the link, because now I believe.
Yeah.
It is the Christmas episode. It's all about believing.
Yeah, there you go. We believe. So
we have a winner. Well, my week's not been that exciting, to be fair. I've been working tons. I've just been working so much, and we're really grafting for there's like a Christmas competition on right now in work. So it all depends on like how much we sell and stuff like that. And yeah, it's just, you know, retail's like, it's very much being like, just do the job to the best of your ability and work hard and all this. So I've just been grafting, to be fair, in and out of shift, you know, just running around and doing all that for the company. And yeah, I guess in my free time, really, I've just been like planning behind the scenes with the ones that came before stuff. You know, I've been like updating the website. I got the Spotify link sorted the other day for episode 21. That's on YouTube and Spotify now. Charlie's edited it. They're nothing too exciting, but I guess I have got one story which happened this week, and I was scrolling through eBay because I'm always on the lookout for new Assassin's Creed items.
Yeah.
And I stumbled across one of the actual grenades, like a prop from the Assassin's Creed movie.
Oh my God.
I'm obsessed with the Assassin's Creed movie. I know it's got its flaws, but because I was like involved in like the marketing for it, and you know, I got to meet the director, and I was like heavily involved on like the UK wave of like the promotion. I guess I just have this like love for it. So I was scrolling and I saw this like this grenade. I guess it's tiny, you know. It was probably only a few centimeters high. I had the assassin insignia on, and it's a one that Musa uses. You remember when he grabs the smoke bombs and like drops them in front of the guards? He gets them to pick from each hand, and he's dead now, isn't he? Michael Williams, I think it was. Michael Williams, I think it's called.
I think so, yeah.
He's passed away since. Anyhow, and the item was on for £160. Oh, wow. I've got to tell you, I was very, very tempted.
Oh,
I was so tempted. And I thought, you know what? I'm not going to do like a late night sale, because last time I did that, I bought this PC for $3,500, and it caused like some issues with me and my, at the time, fiance, because we were only a few weeks away from the wedding. And as I could feel my finger going towards the buy it now button, I sort of like pulled myself away and retracted. I was just thinking, you know what? There are always movie props online from this movie. Like every few months, I do come across something. There are still things on eBay, so just hold back until like I've 100% got the money. You know, Christmas is in 10 days. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to be really sensible. But I tell you what, me a few years ago, I would have hit that buy it now button. I'd have done it on Klarna. I'd have found a way. And the thing is, I have the money, but really, like, I've got it in the ISA and I'm building. I'm trying to have some like emergency money. But I tell you what, I was so tempted. So yeah, I could feel the old call slipping in and tempted to do that purchase. And like I said, with that PC purchase, me and the wife had to have a sit-down conversation about money. And that was a few years ago now. That was probably about 4 or 5 years ago. And it was like, you never buy anything this big without consulting me, because I was paying like £100 a month on the computer or something. And yeah, it
Oh,
caused a few rifts here and there. I know her family weren't happy, my family weren't happy. So yeah, it caused some
no.
problems. But yeah, I was very tempted. I know it's not nearly as much, but I was very tempted. But maybe next time.
Well, funny you should say that because when we were talking about Secret Santa presents, um, I'd already we'd already discussed we were going to do it. We hadn't discussed the price range yet. I literally went onto Amazon and I found I just kept looking for stuff and kept adding it to my basket because like I'll add them. That's a short list, and then I can go through them and pick through. But there were so many things that I added to my basket, and had I not been with Nicola, like had I just been on my own, very single, there would have been about 6 things coming because there were so much things. I was like, oh, that's only like £95. That's okay. I'll buy that for myself, and then
Yeah.
I'll get this one for Cole, and then I'll have that one. It's like, so yeah, I had to be like very restrained and very, very held back.
I'm looking forward to getting into that. And I was wondering, James, if you could tell us about the drama we've had with the Secret Santa presents.
What's even worse is that you'd already had a little bit of drama
I
with
had,
the
yeah.
present already.
I guess it starts with me then, because you sent yours first. And
Yeah.
to give you guys an idea of what we're talking about, I have this surprise package from James, which I'll be opening very soon. And I guess the drama on my end for this was that it was meant to be delivered to my house, but it got delivered to the local Go Outdoors store. So I went there. I had to walk there, so it's quite a trek because it was on the way back from work. So it was about 3 miles for me walking back in the rain. I got there just as they were closing, and they asked me for my ID, so show me ID. And the girl's looking for ages for my name, and she can't find it. And there's so many parcels. Obviously, it's December. There's parcels everywhere, and they get parcels from all companies. So like every Royal Mail do deliveries there. So there's all sorts. It's like a warehouse at the back of the Go Outdoors store. So in the end, she spent about 15 minutes looking. Couldn't find anything with my name on. So. And the weird thing is, I hadn't had any emails saying it had been delivered there. I hadn't had any texts or anything. Normally get a bit of a notification. So what I was going off was James had sent me the screenshots of it's being delivered here. So in the end, I got her to look for your name under James.
Yeah.
And she eventually found it. I had to sign for it, but also prove that you had sent me it. So I had to show her the screenshots because obviously your name's different to my ID. So I sort of had to like smooth talk my way out of there, like, oh, it's a present. I don't know what it is. Like, and she was like, what size could it be? I was like, I have no idea what he's bought me.
No idea. It could be anything.
I can't tell you anything about this parcel. So that was how it started on my end. And I was a bit slower on mine, and you guys will find out why when we open them. It took a little bit of time on my end to get James's things created or like purchased. There's a few steps involved in your gift, and so I sent mine last week for you.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly when it was, but it was a morning before my shift started. So I went with Ash, and that's my wife, and she was like drawing little things on it to make it dead easy for you to find, or even if it's delivered to your door, dead easy. I put the assassin insignia on it. She put little Christmas trees on. Make it festive, but it seems it wasn't to be, and we only just managed to get this segment secured really today.
Yeah, so obviously we were supposed to do this on Sunday. Hold on, before I continue, I wrote James on the package. I said it needed to be in my name so that when it got delivered to you, I didn't want you to be like, oh, what's this? And just open it up.
Yeah.
So I put my name in the hope that when it got delivered to your house, you'd see my name and go, right, this is from James. Let's not open it. I didn't think it would go somewhere else and be
right.
I was like, oh, okay. And then I've had some right drama with it. So you sent it a special delivery, so it needed to be signed for, which is fine. Nicola was here, both days that they tried to deliver, but the second day they delivered, I was like, it will be here before 1 o'clock.
I think I sent it on Wednesday with a guaranteed delivery of Thursday morning.
Yeah, so I was like, it will be here at like just before this time. I said, they tried to deliver it yesterday. None of us were here. So if you're here, that's great. And she was like, yep, I'll be here. She was like, what time did they say it would be here by? I was like, it says, I think it was 1 o'clock or something like that, I think. And Nicola was downstairs for ages waiting. Nothing. She was like, I really need a wee. She was like, I'll just hold off for a second. She went up for a wee, and as she was coming down the stairs, someone mentioned earlier that I look like I'm in my hallway. That's actually my bedroom, and this is the bottom of my stairs in my bedroom. We have a door here, so it's like my mini office. Literally coming down these stairs, and we've got a window here. Blinds were open, and Nicola saw the post van outside. So she runs downstairs as quick as she can, opens the door, and as she opens the door, the postman is already driving off. So Nicola was like, he didn't even knock. I didn't even hear the door knock or anything. It's like, okay. Then I redirected it somewhere. I redirected it to the post office for Monday. On Saturday, I thought I'm at work. I'll try and grab it from the delivery office before it gets moved across on Monday. Got to the delivery office, gave him the reference, gave him my name, gave him my ID, couldn't find it anywhere. It's like, great. The office closes at 12. They were still looking at 12:30 for this parcel. Couldn't find it anywhere. It's like, okay, I guess I'll just have to try and get it on Monday. It's over at the post office on Monday. I'll go over on Monday to get it. So finished work yesterday, 4 o'clock. Got over to the post office. Got there. I was like, I've had an email to say that it's been delivered. I've had notification to say that it's here. And it's been signed by Royal Mail. Well, I think the woman I spoke to was clearly having a bad day because she was very rude and she started complaining about Royal Mail, saying that they always sign for stuff and don't do anything anyway. It's like, okay. She was like, you need to come back tomorrow because it needs to be processed. I was like, she's like, I can't even see it anyway, and you don't have your ID, so I'm not giving it to you, even if I found it. I was like, okay, cool. So this morning, I said to Nicola, I was like, right, you're off. I'm not in until 12. We are going to the post office, and I am not leaving that post office without that present. Got to the post office, gave my ID. The guy was like, what's it look like? I said, it's about this big. He literally handed it over to me, and I was like, yay, I got it. I literally ran back out the shop as quick as I could with it, and I sent you the picture straight away, and I was like, I've got the picture. It's just so much drama. Like, just for a simple present as well. It's so much drama.
As you guys can imagine, that is the reason we postponed from the regular Sunday slot of this podcast, because of, I don't even call it delivery issues, I guess, even though I paid top dollar for the next day guaranteed delivery. What is it they call it? Special delivery?
Special delivery or something.
Signature and give it to you.
It's got special delivery guaranteed by 1 p.m. next day.
Yeah. So what was it, like 5 days later, 4 days later?
Yeah, 5 days later.
That's ridiculous.
So
isn't it?
I think they came Thursday. Was it Thursday? Thursday. So it came on Thursday. Missed the delivery on Friday, couldn't get it on Saturday, nobody works on Sunday, couldn't get it on Monday, and had to get it today. That's morning.
Crazy. We got there though. What an absolute nightmare we've had with this.
Yeah.
But next time we'll maybe send them in November next year.
Maybe I'll start sending them in July.
The only leniency I can give to them really is the busiest time of year.
Yeah. It was just the way the woman was like. It was more how the woman was talking to me than anything else. It was like, yeah, Royal Mail, basically Royal Mail is rubbish.
Yeah,
like, you can't trust what Royal Mail say. I was like, you're literally the post office. I'm pretty sure you're run by Royal Mail.
They're literally hand in hand, like a very similar sort of.
Yeah, you're the same. You're the same thing. What are you talking about?
Yeah, no one knows the difference between you. She's obviously trying to make the distinction. But before we get into the unboxing, James, what do you think's in your Secret Santa gift from me?
I have no idea. Nicola says that she has no idea either.
Okay, yeah, because obviously I had to message Nikki for some questions, one or two questions, and I just left it there. I didn't want to get too into it. And can you remember what I asked her?
I don't know the questions that you asked.
Oh, fantastic! Oh, that makes it better then.
So I absolutely have no idea whatsoever. I have been tempted that when she's been asleep to grab her phone and have a quick look at the messages, but I haven't. So I have no idea whatsoever.
And I guess there's no real clue on the packaging because I bought a box to put it in, didn't I? So you can't even guess from like kids at Christmas when they're like squeezing their presents. You can't even do that.
It's got a bit of weight to it. I will say that there is a bit of weight to it. What about you? What do you think? What about yours?
I'm looking at this one, and going off the packaging, it says lamp photo France, pickyourlamp.com. So I'm guessing it's some kind of light.
Yes.
Some kind of light, and that's purely going off like what's written on it.
Yeah. I'll let you go first.
So, first of all, thank you for sending me a Secret Santa gift, James. I really appreciate it. I think it's great.
No, I appreciate this. This is anyone who knows me it's not something I talk about on TikTok very often, but anyone knows me in real life, Christmas is probably my least favorite time of the year. And actually, I've had fun sorting this out. So
this has been great fun.
This has been really good, yeah. So
even if we hadn't done like on the podcast, we were going to do one as like a collective team anyhow. So we would have found a way of doing it. Welcome, Higgs. We're about to do the unboxing of our Secret Santa. I've got a VIP in the chat. Welcome.
Yeah,
welcome.
And my dad said that he never gets excited over gifts anyway. So that's been something since I was like 10, 11, I think. And one year my parents brought me a mini hi-fi system and I went, oh, thanks. And just left it and put it back down.
Not bothered. Some people like that, you know. That's fine though. So for audio listeners on Spotify, I will describe to you what the item is because I guess this is a very visual part of the podcast. So sorry for, they call it AMSR. If you hear any rustling or anything that's unpleasant, I'll try to do that bit away from the camera. But first of all, thank you very much, James. I really appreciate it. Merry Creedmas.
Go for it, mate.
And I am going to open the Secret Santa present. And you said before it's for the baby. Is that right?
I brought it and I thought about you when I got it. But then a couple of days later, I was like, actually, you could use this for the baby. So it could go in the baby's room.
That's cute. Right, I am unboxing now, guys. Here we go. It is called Pick Your Lamp. Okay. So I'm opening up, guys. Ooh, this is cool.
Yeah.
Let's go. Thank you very much, mate. This is cool. And I'm assuming with the stand and like probably a bit of charge, I'm not sure if there's any charge in it. We have an Ezio Auditore lamp. Very cool. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get it working right now. I might need some batteries or something. But
batteries, I think, maybe.
I'll have it working for the next episode. But that is gorgeous. This is like 3D printed. Like the design.
Yeah, it's brilliant, isn't it? It's so good.
I love like the darkness around his hood. I know, guys, on Spotify, this is meaning nothing to you. It's AC2 Ezio, a very young Ezio Auditore in his original robes, which were given to him by his father, of course, Giovanni Auditore. 2 hidden blades at this point. It's a really gorgeous lamp. I'm assuming it's from France. It's telling me to remove the protective layer, so I'll be doing that later. And I'll be getting some charge in this. And it looks like it takes AA batteries by the looks of it. But thank you very much, mate. That's very cool. And I will have this on display for next episode, which will be with the Exile, which I should have mentioned before as well. That's the only other interesting thing I've done this week. I've managed to secure double episodes this week. Obviously, the Christmas one today, and we have special guest, the Exile from the Podyssey, on Thursday. So that's going to be a great episode. He's a big friend of the show, and I'm a big listener of the Podyssey, so I'm looking forward to that. And yeah, next episode I will have the lamp up and running. I'll show everyone. So thank you very much for the Assassin Christmas present, James. I really appreciate it.
Right.
That's awesome, and baby will love it when they're here, I'm sure.
Yeah, I thought it would be great in the baby's room, just lit up and being protected at nighttime by the greatest assassin of all time. Talking about the Exile coming on before I open my present. It's great that you've managed to secure Harrison down, because we know that he gets his rota like a week in advance. So it's really difficult to
he's a busy
pin the
man.
guy down. So
a lot of our listeners as well are listeners to the Podyssey, so they'll know that they've dropped down to fortnightly just because of Harrison's crazy schedule at work. So it's really great to get that in by the end of 2025, and as well around Christmas as well. So it's not the sort of time you'd expect people to have free time. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that one, and hopefully see you guys listening there as well. It's gonna be good. So double episode week.
So that's a double episode week. Again, before I open this potentially will be our last two before the Christmas period. We're going to take time for our families and stuff. So the first episode back, we do have a big guest booked in, and we will discuss that before the end of the show. So if you want to know, do listen on and do stay tuned. But on to opening this present. Now, Cole was nice enough to design the box for me. So apparently this was to make sure that I could find it a lot easier, like even a little Christmas tree on it. But potentially we discussed that maybe the Templars had got into the post office and were trying to keep me from opening this present, and this probably didn't help.
But they saw that and they kept it away from you. And all I'll say with this one is I had a lot of help from my wife creating these gifts. So I couldn't have done it without her. So big thank you to Ash. She's asleep currently, but she wanted us to do this segment at the start so that she could stay awake. But sadly, it got to 6:30 and bedtime called. So she'll have to watch the replay.
She said that she was looking forward to me opening it. I'm looking forward to open it. I want to see what it is. So here we go. So this is a lot better wrap than I could ever do as well, by the way. Okay.
I'm excited.
So I'll move it to the side so we're not.
What do you think it is? If you have to guess, or if you have to guess,
I genuinely don't know, because it's heavy as well at the same time. So I'm really. Oh wow! Oh, we can stick all of these on. Oh wow! Yeah, you can.
What you got there, James?
No, let's not even. Oh no, I do like this though. So we have some ones who came before T-shirts,
custom made.
Oh, they're brilliant. There we go. There we go. We can take this one off.
Audio
this one on instead. There we go.
The Top Chef has a chef's
Top
hat
Chef
with
hat.
the
There we go.
logo on. You look great.
Out of all of these, this I'm not too sure about. That one's okay.
Listeners, I've sent James a set of Assassin's Creed Black Flag framed prints to head on the right-hand side of his backdrop, we can see Florence there framed in the black frame. So I managed to get the custom black frames as well, get it all fitted nicely. So hopefully it matches the frames you've got, and you can have Black Flag behind you, your least favorite Assassin's Creed game. But
Yeah.
I just felt it had pride of place of your hallway. Nicola's going to love it. It's going to be going all the way up your staircase behind you.
This one's not too bad. As I've stated before, Edward isn't the issue with Black Flag. Though there are many issues with Black Flag, Edward is not one of them. But these ones, I'm not too sure about. But they'll definitely be going on my... They'll definitely go on the wall.
Amazing.
They can go
all the way up the staircase. Pride of place.
They can go next to this one here.
I love it.
Well, that's brilliant.
Hat's great as well. Can you wear this to work, or do you have like a custom chef's hat at your...
Oh, no, I have a... It's not a custom. It's more of just a black flat cap sort of thing.
Nice.
So I couldn't wear this, but we could definitely wear this for streams and stuff. That would be great, yeah. Maybe I'll just start doing some TikTok videos with this on.
You definitely should. And with the t-shirts as well, I had Ash custom make them with a Cricut machine, which I got for her last Christmas, and that's where you have to like design the logos, you have to pick the text, and then you have to like iron them on. So she was like heavily pregnant, on her knees, ironing these t-shirts, getting the logos central. It took about 3 hours to do the two t-shirts and the hat. Oh. And she was fuming. She was like, "How come you always leave everything last minute?
Right to the end. Oh,
no. Not happy." But yeah, you'll get some good fun out of them, mate.
Oh. Yeah, that definitely go on. I'll definitely be making some TikToks of that for sure.
Very good. And next time I see you hosting Rally the Creed or a stream, I hope them pictures are behind you. I'll be calling you out. That's good fun. Glad you like it, mate. And I also, Nikki, what I asked her, your partner, was what size t-shirt you asked. Yeah, the exact size. So hopefully we can see you in them on stream as well. We've got your name on them. She's done front and back as well. We've got our logos on. So a bit of official, the ones that came before, merchandise going on there.
Oh, so, brilliant. I'll get some of those.
Up in your game on the streams, and obviously when you take over the podcast as well, you've got some merch now as well. So
perfect.
Yeah,
brilliant.
Glad you like them.
Thank you.
Fab. So we'll jump into the news now for the week. James, you've written quite a bit here about the Netflix show, and I actually missed the bit yesterday with an actor that was announced, and there was one the other day. So basically, guys, there were 2 new actors announced for the Assassin's Creed Netflix TV show, and one of them is Lola Pettigrew, who was born in Northern Ireland, has been nominated for a BAFTA for her role in Say Nothing. They won an award for Best Leading Actress at the Irish Film and TV Awards, and then we also had Zachary Hart, who's been added to the casting list. So 2 actors. I've got to be truthfully honest, I've not heard of either of them. Lola's actually my age, I saw, so we're in the same bracket. 1996 crew, let's go.
Oh, there you go. So I don't know either of them either, but Zachary Hart was in, if anyone knows, The Witcher. Netflix did a spin-off TV series called Blood Origins, I think it was called. So it was like before. Yeah, I think it was before The Witcher takes place. So it's like a prequel sort of thing. Generally didn't do very well, I believe, on Netflix. Lola, I've never seen Say Nothing. I've never seen anything that Lola's been in. But they've won some awards, so we're looking at award-winning actresses, and so this could potentially be good. I do have a question for you regarding this, though. There was something that was kind of discussed in the Discord throughout the week. Do you think it's a good thing that they're picking lesser-known actors and actresses? Or would you rather they had massive, big names for like the lead roles? How do you feel about this?
I'm looking at it from like a content creation point of view. I'm really happy because it makes them more accessible. We're more likely to get like interviews with them, even get them on Rally of the Creed. So that's really cool from our point of view. And also, I think they've had big star power in the Assassin's Creed movie. Of course, Michael Fassbender. Had a few others as well. Jeremy Irons comes to mind as well. Marion Cotillard. They had some huge names in that. And I imagine the budget was really spent on their payroll for a lot of it. And it had a big budget, that film in general. But I imagine like paying their wages was quite a substantial amount, where I imagine it would be lesser in this. So maybe they can focus more on like the historical aspects or even like CGI or other areas of it. So I'm cool with it. You know, I don't think you have to be a huge fan of Assassin's Creed to star in this, because cool if they've played it before, but you know, they can pick up a book and read about the Assassin's Creed lore, or they can watch the film, or you know, there's the cutscene movies, and as long as they like understand their role on the day, I think it's fine. And I think it's really cool to give people a spotlight and an opportunity. I mean, I'm thinking of like the audio dramas for Assassin's Creed, where they get lesser known actors on that as well. I'm thinking like Assassin's Creed Gold as well. Yes, they had some big names, but as well they had like lesser known, and I don't see a problem with that. And I imagine they'll be great, and it gives people a chance to stand out and not be like overshadowed by like huge A-list celebrities. So I'm cool with it. And like I say, I think it gives us more of an opportunity to bring these people onto our projects. I mean, I'm known for my voice actor interviews here in the AC community, you know, going through like, I'm thinking like, I've worked with like Bayek, Abubakar Salim, Cassandra, like literally all the main voice actors for Assassin's Creed characters. So it'd be cool if like maybe even after the show's aired or while it's airing, we can sort of get in touch with them and do a bit of work with them. I'd love to do some interviews, you know, get people on the show. And I think it's cool and very happy with it. How do you feel about it?
I think I'm happy about it too. Only because I feel like if they were to use the bigger names are only there really to sell the series. If you get the smaller actors and actresses, they need to focus more to bring people in. Whereas if they've got the big names, they don't have to worry too much, because the draw of let's say Michael Fassbender or Jeremy Irons, that pool would be enough to get people to watch it. So they don't have to, like, obviously they'll focus on the story, but they don't have to do as much, I think. So I'm really happy that they're using lesser known actors and actresses. I'm all for giving the small man an opportunity. As a small man myself in the AC community, this is a really good opportunity, I think, for anybody. So I'm all for it. I'm going to watch it either way, whether whoever's in it. So it doesn't really matter much to me, but I do think it's a good thing. Absolutely. Netflix are putting out some serious strings lately, so
they definitely are. They've got some money from somewhere, haven't they?
Yeah, I don't know where they're getting it from, but they're getting it from somewhere.
It's probably from increasing the, you know, when you're sharing an account and you have to pay £2.50 a month now.
Oh yeah, that extra account
password. It's probably from that. That's probably brought in billions for them, but somehow they found the money and they're funding all sorts of projects at the minute. But going back to the Assassin's Creed movie, I remember when Michael Fassbender was announced as a producer and actor in it, a lot of people were thinking it would distract from the overall storyline, because it was like, oh, it's just going to be Michael Fassbender. And I guess it was to some extent, because he played the historical character as well. So it was just Michael Fassbender in Michael's Creed.
Yeah. I personally would like to see Jeremy Irons return.
Yeah.
I really like Jeremy Irons as an actor. I think he's really talented and really, I think he'd be really good. And we know from anyone who's seen a film with Leonardo DiCaprio in The Man in the Iron Mask, where Jeremy Irons plays a musketeer, he can use a sword. He is pretty adept with a sword. So I would like to see him come back.
I think he was in the Borgias as well, so he's done a bit of historical.
Yeah, so he was a Borg. Yeah, he was. I'm pretty sure he played Rodrigo.
I think he did, you know. So that's very Assassin's Creed, isn't it?
So that's very, very. I think I did a post months ago before I started at the ones before of my fan cast for if they ever did a live action Ezio game. And I had Jeremy Irons as Rodrigo Borgia because he did such a good job first time around. So I would love to see him come back. But I think keep it. You can have a couple of big names in there, like as long as they play like certain characters. I think the problem they're going to have is if they do characters that we know, like if they do an Altair, an Ezio, a Basim or whatever, first thing people are going to say is, he doesn't look like him. He doesn't move like them. They don't do this. They don't do that. This doesn't look right. So I think stay away from that. Give us lesser known. Give them the opportunity to step into that role. You could be looking at a new face of a live action franchise. So yeah, I'm all for it.
I think it introduces Assassin's Creed to a new audience as well. You know, Netflix. Yeah. Imagine if it's in like the top 10 on Netflix. It's going to bring in tons of people all around the world. It could do with distancing itself from the Assassin's Creed movie, in my opinion, because obviously it flopped in terms of like money and it didn't do as well as they anticipated. And I think a lot of people, they found the narrative was quite the problem. Obviously, it destroyed elements of the lore and created its own in its place. It had its issues. It's got a special place in my heart, to be truthfully honest with you. I actually love the Assassin's Creed movie for its flaws. You know, it has got problems, even though it is like connected lore-wise and like in the canon as well. It is Assassin's Creed canon. There's all the links there. I still see it as like its own thing. And I think it did a good job at introducing people to the franchise. And it was pretty epic with like the leap of faith and stuff. And I'm looking forward to a new take on it and hopefully a new historical time period. I know we've mentioned this in the past with the rumors saying that it's ancient Rome. I think that would be great because I'm a huge fan of all these shows connecting to ancient Rome, and even like Gladiator, the movie, Gladiator 2, which came out last year. That was phenomenal in my opinion. And I love stuff like that. And Amazon did a really great show about ancient Rome. I forget what it was called, but it was really great. It had Ewan Ryan in it, and what they did in that was they like flooded the Colosseum and sent in like alligators and crocodiles, hippos, and like used it like I think it's called a Verodrome, where they like sealed the whole thing up and had ships on it. I was like, I've never heard or seen of this. So it's like there's still stuff we don't know, or at least in the mainstream they're not demonstrating. So yeah, I think Assassin's Creed would be a good way of looking into Rome and some of the things that are lesser known, I guess. So it'd be a really cool way, even like maybe emperors and things we've not really seen in like mainstream media. So yeah, I think there's tons of history for them to cover there. And what a beautiful city to go to as well, and especially in like the modern day. It'd be cool if they could do like a juxtaposition between like modern day Rome, which is, it's actually full of like gangs and it's a beautiful place. And there's all, I think there's a film that did it. John Wick went to Rome and showed like the darker side of it, so we could really like go into that. You know, with like the gangs are controlling Rome now, and that could be really cool. There is like, even though Rome's such a gorgeous city, there is like a dark side to it. So I think it'd be really cool to show maybe the Templars have a bit of influence over the nightlife and the club scene, or even like the business element. They could do however they want to do it. Maybe Abstergo's planning a new building next to the Colosseum or something. They're doing some DNA testing around there and digging up bones and stuff. And yeah, I think it'd be really interesting to see how they could go back and forth, like as they did in Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. You know, they went to the Colosseum looking for the Piece of Eden, and yeah, it's really cool in that perspective. And the other thing is, with these castings, we don't know if they're historical castings or if they're modern day castings. So we don't know.
No, we don't. So we don't even know what. So I don't even think Zachary Hart had anything added to him. I think so. Toby Wallace, he was put as a main character. I'm pretty sure that Lola Pettigrew, they had a main character written, like that's what they'd been cast for. But Zachary Hart, I just think it said that he'd been added to the casting list.
It doesn't specify. We really don't know then at this point, and hopefully we can give you guys a bit more information on this as we get probably into next year at this point. I don't imagine they're going to be dropping too many bits of information about this show just before Christmas. I mean, the focus right now is Assassin's Creed Shadows, I guess, and also there's been a patch for Mirage. So we'll move on to Mirage, I guess, because that's the smaller news. But it's interesting because what they've done now is add the patch for Mirage, which gets rid of the motion blur when sprinting. And this was actually in the update which introduced the DLC set in Alula, Valley of Memory. Along with that phenomenal DLC came the motion blur, and I noticed it the second I installed this update on PC. Bassin's running, and I felt like I needed some like motion goggles on or glasses, you know, like the anti-blur things to stop you getting a headache, because he runs quite quick for, well, I guess in comparison to some of the assassins, it's not as fast as like Narwhal and Yasuke. I guess he's slow compared to them, but when you're running, you can just feel this like blurring, and it's quite sickening to a point like where I imagine people could get headaches potentially from it. I don't know if anyone has, but I think it was going in that direction because everyone noticed it. Like I noticed it as soon as I booted up. Everyone on Twitter was talking about it. So it's good to see that this is finally being resolved in the patch. So did you encounter this at all on your playthrough, James?
I did. I noticed it straight away. It was something that I instantly brought up on Twitter. Then we had like loads of people in the community be like, "Yep, we saw it too. It's ridiculous." And I think it was I can't remember who it was, but I'm pretty sure I saw a Twitter post. It was like basically they think that why they added the motion blur was to make Basim seem like he was moving faster.
Interesting. Okay.
So I've again, this is something I know because it's something I talk about. I did a post about the fastest assassins in Assassin's Creed. I put Narwhal as first, and everyone's like, "No, she's not." Basim is
badge on tonight.
Yeah, there you
go. Yes.
Everyone's like, Narwhal is. Everyone's like Basim is. So I had a side-by-side foot race. It was 100 meters. Both started at the same time. Narwhal is considerably faster than he is.
Yeah.
But he's the only one that's ever broke the Animus, which...
Interesting, yeah.
Which he's not even... When you're running or you're doing anything, he's not even that fast. If he's that fast that he can break the Animus, like he should be... Combat shouldn't be an issue. He should be able to breeze through these people. He should be able to, like, never be spotted because he's so fast. But I believe they added the motion blur to make it seem like he's moving quicker because everything's just flying past you.
Interesting.
But there are so many people. But there's so many people I know, like my dad. He couldn't play that DLC because he would get motion sick. Yeah. He would feel sick. So it's a weird choice, but also it's a weird choice to patch it as well.
I wonder if it's still an option, like you can toggle it on and off. I'm not even sure. Is it gone completely now? I'm not even sure.
I'm not sure. I don't know when the patch was coming out. I feel like it was today, maybe.
Yeah, I think it was either today or yesterday. It's definitely out now. And people are saying they can enjoy the DLC a lot more now without the motion blur when sprinting.
I just don't... I'm trying to work out why... Obviously, people will go back to it and play it as many times as they want, but it does make me question why they're patching it. I just don't see why they put it in the first place. They've already said that Mirage is getting no other updates. It's getting no other DLCs. Like, this is it. This is the end of it. Like, it's not getting anything else. So it seems weird that they're now patching something that they didn't necessarily need to put in. in the first place.
Going back to what you said before, I guess that's why I think Basim's fast. It's because he, like you say, he breaks the animus with the, the attack where you can like select how many guards you want to kill, and he can just do it so quickly you can barely even see it. But I guess when he's running, it's not that quick. But I actually find the parkour's quicker than the running. I don't know why. Like I find like on the ground running isn't that quick, but like when he's like zooming across beams and things, it's not too bad, especially with the new parkour update on.
I think comparable to the likes of Norway, even I was getting some footage for a YouTube video, and I was playing Assassin's Creed 3, and even Desmond moves faster parkouring than Basim does.
Interesting.
Like the parkour feels so much more responsive than even Shadows does, but in speed wise, I don't even think, like I would even argue, I don't particularly think that Arno moves very fast, but I think in a foot race Arno is faster than Basim. I think Jacob is faster
as well.
I think Jacob I also think that Jacob is faster in a foot race than Basim is. I think it just in 100 meters, I think he's just slightly faster than Basim in a foot race. And this is the guy that's supposed to be he broke the animus, guys. This is why we have it. It literally makes no sense at all.
Yeah, that's a good point. It is interesting that they've added that and removed it within the spell of a month. And that's the latest on the Mirage update. And then we've also had a new update for Assassin's Creed Shadows. We mentioned it in the pre-show that we actually had a bit of early access to the assets. So big thank you to Ubisoft for that. So we knew what was coming. We were preparing our content before the embargo lift, which was today. And the big thing that comes with the update for Assassin's Creed Shadows, I guess, which is version 1.1.7, is there's a new Animus Rift, which is a new storyline, a very short storyline where you're helping the guide, which I guess is like the ongoing modern day plot line with whatever's going on there. But we can talk spoilers because it's just sort of like an ongoing thing. And I guess the only spoiler in it really is that there's a pirate ship inside that simulation. So obviously you go through the portal into this, like, I don't know what you call it. It's very similar to Assassin's Creed Revelations, where you're in that sort of like grey area, like simulation.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're classing it as, but yeah, there's like a boss battle, and there is a pirate ship in there, and people are starting to question now if that could be a hint towards Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced, which is the name we believe could be used for the Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake.
If it is, I just want to say, I pointed this out, guys. When we got the assets sent from Ubisoft, we were going through them, and the name for the whole project was released, and a couple of names for a couple of the rewards were announced. And there is a bow staff called Mutiny, and it's something I spoke to you about and a couple of others. And then I was like, it seems really weird. Mutiny isn't a word that people in Japan would have used at the time. They would have had, it's a very English word, and it's a much later word than the time period. They would have had a different word to say for mutiny. But it's a very ship word to use. It's very much a naval thing to say. But also, I think it was either Assassin's Creed News or Access the Animus on Twitter that stated that in the build-up to Black Flag, it says something about defy in Black Flag's in the obviously defiance. It's all. So I have a sneak feeling that this is all leading to something, and this could be potentially why nothing was shown at the Game Awards. This could be their big reveal. So who knows? I haven't played any of it yet. I haven't really done anything with it yet, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I guess we've just been working since the updates come out, and
yeah,
really cool to get the early access. And obviously, it massively helps our social media team, helps you and the team as well, the video content creation team, prepare the content in advance. And we had a really good comment here from Naren who says, "But it's a Portuguese ship, so boo, no black flag reveal." But I guess you could connect it that way to Japan. But I still find it interesting the timing of it when everyone's very excited about Black Flag and.
But pirates would have used any ships available to them.
I mean, Edward steals the Jackdaw.
Yeah.
Was it Spanish galleon or something?
Yeah, so if it could be, like, if it would be too obvious if it was going to be the Jackdaw, it would be too obvious and people would be like, yeah, you've shown us. But they have to kind of do it a little bit sneakily, I guess, maybe. But who knows? Maybe we're just all clutching at straws right now.
Maybe.
But I want to say about the update is that I've seen a lot of people talking about the finisher moves. I don't know if you've seen. We posted a video on the ones who came before, which, by the way, is absolutely flying now. It's on like 14,000 views and like 300 likes. It's crazy. But there's been a lot of discord going on Twitter about these finisher moves. That there's so many people that are saying that these finisher moves should have been in the game from day one. How do you feel about this? Because I don't think any of the other games received new finishers added to them 9 months after they were released. So
it's a very strange post-launch content plan for Assassin's Creed Shadows. I've not been a big fan of it, to be truthfully honest with you. It's been nowhere near as strong or consistent as what they've done in previous games. It feels like cut content or half-baked content that wasn't ready. Yeah. So they're like, oh, we can throw that in with the autumn, winter, post-launch. And it's just such a strange thing to have, because Assassin's Creed tweeted today saying, finishing moves for Christmas, ? And I was like, what a weird thing. Like, I don't remember this during the days of like Origins, for example. You know, we were getting like new Redder drops and stuff, and obviously decent DLCs, more than one. It's just very strange to be releasing like basically like internal assets and like animations. Like, what are the animations? How long were they done? Were they created afterwards? Were they created originally? I don't see the point in it. I know they're trying to pitch it as like, oh, Nawe learns this move from Yasuke and Yasuke learns this move from Nawe. But like I said, I don't think it's been a very good post-launch at all for Assassin's Creed. And I think a lot of people feel this way because Joe Raptor recently did his interview with Simon, and a lot of people were asking questions about it. And I think he knows that there's been a very weak post-launch, and he even like admitted it at one point. And I want to get the exact quote really before I say it, so we'll find it for next time. I'm not got it to hand, but he basically goes on to say that he realizes it's not being as strong. So we'll have to maybe tweet it or something and find that exact phrasing. But it was really interesting to hear that even you sort of know that people were expecting a bit more than new animations in post-launch. So I'm a big fan of it. I don't think any sort of cut material should be making it like dripped out like this. But at least it's not being sold to us. That's the only thing I'd say. At least it's not like, oh, you can get these new animations on the microtransaction store at the Helix store, whatever they call it now. I think I'd be fuming with that.
I think myself and the wider community would generally agree it's not been the greatest post-launch. And what's even worse is it makes... I understand that when Ubisoft make, sorry for my pronunciation, Ubisoft I feel like they don't make games to make our lives easier. They make games for themselves, but I feel like they're making our job harder because the amount of times that we have to defend their practice, or we want to talk about the release or something that's been done for it, and you're just met with so much negativity, and it's like it's really struggled. It's a really difficult thing to defend right now, like especially with Shadows. I love Shadows. I really enjoyed it. It's my third favorite game. That's not me saying that it's better than others. There are better ones out there. I just personally, for me, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's it's the only RPG game that I've completed fully and enjoyed and wanted to continue to play. But it just makes everything harder to defend. And like, yeah, it's a couple of finisher moves. We shouldn't be praising this stuff. But also, if we don't praise this stuff and we don't talk about it, it's almost like it doesn't exist, and I don't want that to happen either. I would like to think that Ubisoft heard everybody complain about the finisher moves. I've been live the last couple of days, and the amount of times I do the same finisher with Yasuke, where he chops off both the arms and then he chops off the head. It's like every other finisher, and it's like, come on, I need something else now.
There's no variation on it.
Yeah, so I'm hoping, and I genuinely am hoping, that they heard everybody's complaints and went, look, this is something we should have done at launch, or it should have been in the game from the start, but we didn't think it would be a problem. We've now done this, and we've listened to you, and now you've got this. But at the moment, it's just, oh, here you go, it's this, and there's no explanation to it. There's nothing to tell us why this is happening. And like you said, I have found that the Assassin's Creed, their Twitter page particularly, they're posting some really random stuff. Like they posted something about Black Flag not too long ago. They posted about the finisher moves. They posted the video of Norway doing like sword fighting moves with the Attack on Titans outfit on. It's like nobody wants that outfit. Nobody likes that outfit. Sometimes I really think that
this is what we discussed in a previous episode, where the collaboration ends and then it's basically like you can buy this outfit.
Yeah, like, and you can't even get it. And I think sometimes it comes across as being absolutely tone deaf.
Very out of touch, aren't they?
Yeah, they're not. Either they're listening to their community or they're not listening to their community, and I think they really need to take a step back and have a look. And hopefully with this new Vantage Studios, hopefully that will be different. But I worry for the future if this is what we're getting now.
Yeah, I've not enjoyed the post-launch content. I mean, you mentioned the Attack on Titan collaboration. I'd say that damaged Assassin's Creed Shadows, the image of it. Nightmare Fuel, absolutely horrendous, that giant. I'm not going to ever play that. I don't think I ever need to play that. I'm probably happier not playing it, to be truthfully honest with you. And yeah, in terms of like updates for Assassin's Creed, we were all hoping for a big update on the future of Assassin's Creed at the Game Awards, which many of us stayed up very late watching. James, you were up later than I was. When was that showing? I'm trying to see on my calendar.
It was Thursday.
Yeah. So I think most of you guys listening will know about the Game Awards, and it's a huge annual event hosted by Jeff Keighley, I think his name is.
Yeah.
And every year they basically pick the game of the year, and they award for different categories. And yeah, we were all sort of anticipating an Assassin's Creed Black Flag reveal, and we discussed it in the last episode. Me and James were 50-50 on it, but I was a bit more confident that they would do it because it would have been so great for the marketing of this
Yeah.
game. It really would have pushed it. But I did read that same day that it costs over £1 million to have a 3 minute slot of your game shown at that awards ceremony. So it's interesting. And in the end, one game swept up and basically won all the main awards. So that was interesting. And no surprise, really, but it was that Expedition 33 Claire.
Yeah, but even
it's on my list of games to play.
Yeah, but even that got a bit of aggro. I watched it live. I managed to basically the Game Awards give you a chance to stream it for free. It's free anyway, but they give you a chance to live stream it using their they give you a link that you have to click on and stuff. Basically, your views count to their views and so on. So I actually stayed up, watched it. There is it's like a 3-hour live that I posted to YouTube where I have fallen asleep for like 30 minutes, I think.
Really?
But I'm so far back from the camera that it actually looks like I'm just watching.
Nice.
And I'm so unenthusiastic about it. But
it was a late night.
It was a late night. I specifically stayed up to watch it in the hope that we would get something about Black Flag, even if it was just a little like black screen that popped up and just said Black Flag resynced, anything on it. But there was literally nothing. And then I find out that after watching it, that nobody from Ubisoft was even there. And that's even worse.
This is the thing. They had
you
nothing.
didn't even
There was
turn
no
up.
presence there at all. There was no Ubisoft games on display.
Yeah.
They got nominated for a game. I think they got nominated Assassin's Creed Shadows in the first category that was shown, and the main
Shadows got nominated
was it
for
accessibility,
which I personally think they should have won.
Right.
But all the winners were fantastic. Obviously, Expedition 33 won pretty much every category it was in.
Incredible.
But even that, I saw a lot of backlash for that. Something about it won Best RPG.
Right, okay. Interesting. And with that, I'm sure it was produced by people who worked for Ubisoft and then broke away and started their own studio.
Yeah.
So that's the closest there was to a Ubisoft presence.
Yeah, but I think it was just I actually was really frustrated that there was nothing at all. And when I've watched stuff like this before, like the Xbox Showcase or whatever it might be, I've always come away going, yeah, it wasn't great, but at least we have this to deal with, and we have this to look forward to. Other than the announcement of a Star Wars game, I was just like,
yeah. I was going to ask you this. What got you excited during that event? And to be fair, one of the Star Wars games looked really cool, didn't it?
So the announcement for the Star Wars Fate of the Old Republic. Yeah. Now, I'm hoping that this is like a spiritual successor to Knights of the Old Republic. Both of them are two of my favorite Star Wars games. I think the first one is probably one of the best Star Wars games we've ever had. So I'm really looking forward to that. But other than that was pretty much it for me. I will say something I did enjoy is that a game that I've been playing since day one, on and off now for about 10 years, sorry, won Best Ongoing Game. So No Man's Sky, I don't know if anyone's seen it or played it, but it had a horrible launch. It was it wasn't what was promised, but in the last 9 years they've turned it around so much. So
that's a
that was
huge
my
time to
only
be supporting a
enjoyment.
game, isn't it? Wow, 9 years.
Yeah,
That's incredible, really, to be supporting a game that long.
yeah. So they every year they come out, they're releasing new content, they're changing stuff. It gets a whole like sorry, it's got like a completely different UI they had at the beginning of it. There's so much going on that they do so much with it, and that's literally a small studio. So that is Hello Games. I think it's like 30 people they have, something like that. There's not a lot of them at all. It's a really small team that just get. That's the same as the people who did Expedition 33. It's a very small game, a very small team that are able to deal with each other, and it's really good.
And that one's on Game Pass, isn't it? The Claire
Yeah.
Expedition 33. I've actually got it installed. I just haven't got around to playing it because funny you mentioned Star Wars. I'm playing Fallen Order at the minute.
Oh, nice. I love that game. That's
really great, to be fair. I mean, really enjoying it, especially the parkour. I think it's great, especially when there's like dynamic parkour scenes. So you'll be moving as like a train's moving and things are like breaking as you're putting your weight on them. I think it's really cool how like the environment's reacting to you. So really great. And also I'm just enjoying it in general. Like I'm a big Star Wars fan, so I'm enjoying that. I've never played it before. I know there's Jedi Survivor to play afterwards as well, which I imagine is really good. But I know a lot of people want Cal Kestis to be in like the live action because his actor looks exactly the same. It's modelled on him. So yeah, really happy with that game. And someone in the comments, Codex Seeker says, sad that the Star Wars game that was announced won't be out until 2030.
Yeah, that's
sucks.
This also brings on another question that I saw people discussing as well. Is why do developers feel the need to announce something so early? Like, I remember when Cyberpunk was announced, and it felt like an eternity from the announcement to us actually getting the game, that I waited so long, but the hype I had for it at the start when it was announced was slowly dwindling, and I'd forget about it, and then someone would pop up and I'd be like, oh, this is great, and then my hype level would go down again because there's such a gap in between announcing and releasing. It just feels a bit rubbish, really.
Yeah.
It's the same as like was it Elder Scrolls 6? I think that was announced in 2018. Like, and we're now what, 7 years later and still nothing?
Long
like,
time.
Why are you announcing a game so late, so far away? It just seems like a waste of time, and any hype that you can build up, it's just disappeared. But then I want to ask it. I asked it you last week, but why are Ubisoft so shy when it comes to advertising and building hype for their games? Why do they feel so scared to take that leap and just give us a little something, anything?
Going back to your first point with the overall, where am I going with this? I've lost my thread. We'll come back to it. I'll come back to it. The second one, probably money. To be truthfully honest with you, the Ubisoft thing's probably down to money. Maybe they just haven't got the sort of money for advertising and marketing as they used to. For some reason, they don't seem to be as keen to do like interesting collaborations or like big scale events, and like that they don't really have a presence at these big events anymore. I mean, the Game Awards would have been perfect. People are now saying there's an Xbox conference in January, which may be the ideal place to reveal Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and then they'll only have a marketing campaign of 3 months so that they can just like have a compact, focused marketing campaign rather than draw it out over time. I think it's probably because they just haven't got the funds to do it anymore, to be truthfully honest with you. And I remember what I was going to say. Yeah, the other bit about revealing games way in advance, I imagine it's damage control. I imagine it's something to do with every game we know of, like major game, gets leaked at some point. Maybe they're trying to get ahead of that. I know this is a big thing in the Assassin's Creed community with Ubisoft. Literally every main game gets leaked. So like Hexe, by the time Assassin's Creed Hexe comes out, it will have been announced years before. The Assassin's Creed, what was it, like an event they did announcing the roadmap of all that's coming out. It'll be a good 4 years or something before it even comes to fruition and we can actually play it. But I guess they just want to jump the gun and get ahead on these things before the leakers can, or before someone leaves the company and then does an interview about it for Kotaku or one of these journalists that they pay well. So I imagine people don't hold their secrets for too long when there's money involved. But that's how I see it now.
Yeah, potentially you're right. It just really frustrates me that we're getting. I don't know how much of the Game Awards you watched, but we're getting announcements of a Lara Croft a re-imaging of the first Lara Croft, and all these, and a brand new Lara Croft game, and
that looked good.
All these, and then there was a PvP, Valorant / Overwatch sort of a game announced, but that was the last game announced, and George was like, "This game is massive. It's going to be," and it's like, this is what I sat here waiting for: a PvP game, a live service game. No wonder developers are trying to get us to play live server games, and they want because this is what we're looking at. So I don't know. I'm just a bit frustrated with Ubisoft right now.
Yeah, with the Lara Croft game, have you seen that it's going to be voiced by Alex Wilson, who is
I have, yeah. So
Assassin's Creed Origins. I think that's a really great casting, by the way.
I agree with you. To be fair, I think it would be great. She did really well.
A real British accent about her as well, which I think Lara Croft has had in the past. So it's great to see that they're not sort of stepping too far away from what's known with the character. And yeah, I think it looks really great. I like the idea that they're remaking like the polygon version, when like Lara Croft was like all like shapes rather than like a physical person. Very blocky. I think it's cool that they're bringing back the dinosaurs and stuff, and I'll definitely play that. And Alex is voicing in both versions of that, so it's gonna be cool.
Yeah, but like Barry says in the comments, if Lara is getting a remake, why can't Altair? And this is a question I've asked many times: why are we getting a Black Flag remake and not an Altair remake? That should be your first port of call. If you're going to do a remake, that should be the first one. Because if you do that and it goes well or it doesn't go well, that's fine. Nobody's going to get defensive over it. Nobody's going to get upset about it. But if they mess up this remake of Black Flag, potentially we won't get another Assassin's Creed remake because they'll just won't bother.
Going back to your point about AC1, I've mentioned it on the show before, but who would they get to voice Altair? Because Philip Shahbaz was the original voice actor for Altair. People say he sounds American. I actually loved his performance in AC1. I think it's a great game. But then in Revelations, you had like the real Altair, which was like obviously an updated Animus. This is a more historically accurate Middle Eastern voice actor, Cassandra. But he also was cancelled due to interactions with fans and some other things as well in the Me Too movement. So would they even be able to give him work? Because I know he was fired from The Expanse, which was a Star Wars sort of style, a Star Trek as well, like on a spaceship TV show. So then you have this issue of would they have to get a brand new voice actor for Altair?
Brand new voice actor,
That's not Altair. It's very difficult in terms of that decision. Who would they get to back? Would they bring them both back to voice him? Would they use lines already recorded? I think it's a really tough one to tackle.
Just use lines re-recorded, I guess, potentially, but it is a difficult one. I hadn't really thought about that. I assumed that they would try and reuse as much assets as they possibly could. But yeah, that is a good question. Like, who would they get to do that?
And the other thing is, they wouldn't be able to do any promotion with Cassandra because part of the allegations against him were by members of the Assassin's Creed community, females. So it's very difficult, and I think there's a lot more to it than actually hit the internet. So as far as I know, they wouldn't be able to work with him again. I don't know how his career is looking in 2025. Me Too movement was 2020, I believe.
Yeah, around that time.
But yeah, it's difficult, isn't it?
So Barry says that AI could do it. I don't think AI should do it. When you start getting AI to do voice notes and what have you, you have this problem like Shadows does, where, not saying that they used AI, but it just feels a bit flat. There's no personality. There's no life to it. So I don't think they would do that because they just get so much grief and hassle for it. But what I will say is, guys, anyone listening right now, in the comments, on Spotify, YouTube, TikTok, wherever you're listening to us, comment, who do you think should voice Altair in a possible remake? And then it's something that Cole and the Exile can talk about in next week's episode.
That's going to be good. I'm looking forward to that.
Also, while we're here, what is your favorite Assassin's Creed game, Cole? Someone's asked in the chat.
Thank you for your comment in the chat. Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. I'm such a big fan of it. I think it's a great sequel. I'm a big fan of Rome. I was mentioning it before. I was mentioning like the darker side of Rome, but when I go as a tourist, I absolutely love it. I got engaged there. I've been several times, the Colosseum, the Vatican. I just think it's a beautiful place. It's got this real like mystique about it, this aura. I think it's incredible. Not religious myself, but massive respect for it. And like even like standing in the Vatican and looking around, you feel like you're part of something bigger than yourself. So yeah, I think it's a real special place, Rome, and I think Brotherhood's my favourite game, and Ezio's a great character as well. I love the armors in the game as well. I love the storyline where it goes, and it goes from a boy to a man. I just think Brotherhood's a great game, so that is my number one choice.
So my number one choice is Assassin's Creed 2. For the same reason as you, Rome is a city that I've always felt drawn to and connected to, but for no particular reason. But there's something quite magical and special about loading up Assassin's Creed 2 and that opening scene, standing on the clock tower with Ezio's brother, hearing Ezio's family for the first time, all these different. There's just so much about it, and just growing with Ezio as a character throughout that scene. Just something, I don't know. There's just something quite special about it. I don't think I've ever played an Assassin's Creed or a game that's drew me in as much as that.
It's a great choice, by the way, and also I'm looking at the artwork behind you.
So
Florence concept art.
Yeah, this picture. So anyway,
it's nice to look at while she's telling us all about the beauty of Florence, and now Ezio on the rooftop.
Yeah, this picture I found in Scotland, just randomly in a picture shop somewhere.
That's
fantastic. Like, yeah.
It was meant to be. Thank you for your question. And James, a question for you. What do you think of the leaked title or the name that it's supposedly going to be? Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced?
I actually like it. I think it's really good. I think it separates these very generic remakes or remastered Ubisoft have tried the whole remastered before, and it didn't necessarily go very well with AC3. So I do like this whole new like resynced. It works very well in the Assassin's Creed lore, I think.
Yeah.
And just imagine, oh, what are you playing? Black Flag, or are you playing resynced? And it just, I don't know, there's just something about it that's like, we've been there before already, so we're loading back up, we're resyncing. I just think it works really well. I think it's a great name.
It's very on brand, isn't it? It's the idea that you're resynchronizing perhaps with lost memories, things you didn't have in the original synchronization. Obviously, the Animus strings together all of these memories, but maybe there's a newer version of the Animus that can synchronize to 100%. Maybe when Abstergo were doing the files in Black Flag originally, they only had like a 95% sync, and this is 100%. So there's more memories, and maybe you can get a more accurate perspective of what the historical time period was like, a deeper connection to the ancestor. I think it's really cool, and they could really like add to it. And I think we've mentioned this quite a lot, what we want from a Black Flag remake, and this sort of goes into the concept that we'd like added like narrative plot points to strengthen bits. The majority of the game, Edward isn't an assassin. I think that's a big complaint for a lot of people. They could add loads of stuff. I mean, there's a show that's out, isn't there? There's like comic books. There's books like Edward on his adventures around the world. I mean, he went to Masyaf at one point. He went to Asia. Like, we've not seen any of this. So there's tons of stuff they could do, really. I wouldn't be surprised if they're dropping DLCs of Edward on the high seas going across to China. Who knows? Who knows? There's all sorts they can do with it. So I like the idea that they're re-looking into his memories. Maybe he found other pieces of Eden, because that's normally the MacGuffin, the reason that Abstergo even looking into these memories. Or maybe it's the assassins this time. I didn't like the modern day really for Black Flag, in terms of like, after Desmond, I didn't really know what they were doing with it, but it was something, and I imagine that wouldn't be in this. I imagine it would have its own modern day storyline, or maybe they'll just throw it in the Animus hub and do it that way. They seem to
get rid of it completely. Just
correct, yeah, maybe so.
I'm a firm believer in, yes, the modern day plays an important role if we want to know about the modern day. Like, we want to know about the modern day war, what's happening, then yes, why not? But I think generally, I don't think it really needs a modern day. So I just get rid of it. Just sack it off. We've had so many complaints. Oh, I have so many complaints about Black Flag, but one of them is the modern day, and I think just get rid of it completely. It's pointless. They don't really know what they're doing after getting rid of Desmond. They don't really know what they're doing, so just sack it off completely and lean into that whole. So whenever I talk about Black Flag, I'm always hit with, yeah, but it's a great pirate game. Okay, lean into that then. If that's what it is and that's its USP, go for it. Lean into that fully. Get rid of the modern day. It bared no relevance to the story, really. So just have it as a great pirate game. And those cutscenes, those bits that you've cut out, just give us a bit more of the Edward as an assassin. Just give us a little bit more.
It'd be interesting to see what they do with it, and we're pretty certain it's real at this point. I'm always talking about it as if it is real and confirmed.
Yeah, I feel like it is.
Especially after the Peggy website.
It's got to be the worst kept secret in video games, because I think the most telling sign is that we know that Ubisoft they've seen posts, they've seen topics. They've seen stuff that we've talked about. They've seen videos. Potentially, they could be watching any of the podcasts at any given time. So they would have seen all this stuff, and to not release a statement to go, guys, I'm really sorry, this isn't happening. The fact that they've been so silent on it is deafening, and being silent when it comes to stuff like this is more telling than it is when you're being loud and big about it.
It does generate a bit of hype and interest in things as well, and yeah, that they'd put the foot down if it wasn't true, really, or you think they would to some degree. But this is why people think a lot of the marketing for Ubisoft now is like intentional leaks. I don't know how true that is, but a lot of people think that they'll maybe they asked Peggy to list that to the website, maybe they asked Matt Ryan to say this. Who knows? I mean, I'm not going to get like conspiracy theory level about it. But who knows? The world knows, and people are making YouTube videos about it. We're obviously talking about it on the podcast. People are tweeting about it. People are talking about it. And if they dropped a pre-order right now, it'd probably do quite well. But I guess this leads people to push towards the idea of a shadow drop. But I honestly don't think Ubisoft will do that. I think January is the most likely time we're going to get a reveal. They'll have a 3-month marketing campaign. I mean, even if you look at Assassin's Creed Shadows, didn't have a strong, long-winded marketing campaign. It went across maybe 7 or 8 months, and there were months where they barely did a thing, and sometimes they'll release one article. I felt very sorry for YouTubers like Willis Makes Movies and the XR from the Podyssey. These guys were waiting for Assassin's Creed news from Shadows, and all they were getting was like one article per month detailing like things that are coming out like in the parkour, and they weren't even interesting. There was like GIFs and things attached, sometimes just pictures. There wasn't a lot to work with for content creators. So yeah, Ubisoft just don't have the budget for strong marketing campaigns. So we as fans have to find ways of doing it. And like us as content creators as well, we'll have to think of like clever ways of promoting Black Flag, because Ubisoft probably aren't going to do it. We'll have to write our own sea shanties and things.
Yeah, but I actually personally think a shadow drop would be the way to go, because
it would be good.
The last shadow drop I know of was the Oblivion remaster, or remake, or however you want to word it. And literally, imagine in January they announce it at this Xbox event or whatever, and be like, oh, by the way, you can play it now.
That's incredible.
The amount that's going to generate straight away. People are going to load up. They're gonna flood Ubisoft Connect. It's gonna be crazy. So I think a shadow drop would, one, minimize any criticism. Two, potentially minimize any risk, and could potentially maximize their reward. I think it would be a great strategic thing to do, considering the backlash they got during every day of Shadow's marketing campaign.
So many mistakes.
There were so many issues, but even when there wasn't issues, people were looking for issues, and people were blasting them all over Twitter and what have you. And then obviously we know that they cancelled a mainline game that would have seen you as a slave. So, and they cancelled that because of supposed backlash that they got from Shadows. So potentially, one, they could be going, right, we're not doing any marketing until we absolutely necessarily have to. But potentially it could just be, do you know what? You guys poured us over hot coals during our campaign for Shadows. Here you go, have it. Just
possibly.
Just go for it. I think that would be, yes, it would be a massive risk, but I think this is what people are hoping for with Ubisoft. It's like, take some risks, go out there, and then, like when they made Assassin's Creed 1, they already had an established franchise with Prince of Persia, and to take such a leap and create a whole nother game that was now possibly their biggest selling franchise. I think people want to see. I think people want to see them take more risks, and I want to see them take risks too. So shadow drop it. If you're listening, Ubisoft, do it. Shadow drop it now.
That would be good, you know. And I'm thinking back to the original Black Flag marketing campaign. They'd get like ships in harbors in America.
Yeah.
They'd get like Rick Boa dressed up as Edward walking along the ship, things like that. And yeah, they really pushed it. I mean, obviously E3 was the big event back then. They had the huge Black Flag banner on the side of that, and that probably cost a fair amount of money to get on.
Yeah.
They just had the money for these things. Now it seems like Ubisoft do things very last minute. They drip feed people information, and it's just not fun anymore. There's no real energy to a marketing campaign anymore. Content creators are the ones generating the hype, and with Shadows, they basically gave like so many people early access that it got diluted down because there were a lot of haters who had access, and people who were making like the racist videos and stuff, and they lost control of who was getting access to it. Obviously you shouldn't always have yes men, I totally agree with that, but at the same time, there are content creators that would love early access like yourself who probably weren't getting it, but then others who have like a huge platform but were then just like shitting on the game. Do you know what I mean? Like they didn't help themselves with these decisions.
I think when it comes to giving early access, and this is a problem I've seen with quite a few content creators from what I can see, is that there's been people that don't even play the game. Like, they may have done one video, one Assassin's Creed video, like 10 years ago or whatever, and they're getting access to a free edition, and it's like, why? You know the people that are in the community, you know the ones that are going to get you, you know the ones that are going to get you the coverage that you want. People like Billy, people like Angry Eggs, like AC Johnny, all these people, like these are the people you need to lean into. These are the people you need to be giving it to, not certain people that I refuse to say their names, but they're only going to give you hate no matter how good the game is. Like, I remember the lead up to Shadows being like releasing, and that's when I first started doing my Assassin's Creed content. Like, all I would ever see from certain people is, the game's rubbish. How do you know the game's rubbish? How do you know the game's bad? It's not out yet. What are you talking about? And it was so much negativity around it. I just think what they should do is just throw caution to the wind and just enjoy themselves.
Yeah, that's a very good point. And then Naren says, I saw a COD player marketing it. I'm not even surprised, to be truthfully honest with you. I feel like every man and their dog had a copy of Assassin's Creed Shadows, but then it didn't really reflect in the overall sales, did it?
Yeah, it's the same as like, I'm not bitter about it at all, honestly, but it's the same as me applying for the Ubisoft content creator pack or whatever it's called. Program. It's like, I try, like I've actively for like the last year and a half been Assassin's Creed only, and I'm doing like individually videos aren't like they do maybe 400, 500 views. But in that year, I've probably had like 1.6 million views across all my videos. Like, help me out here. I'm trying to help you. Help me, help you, help you, help me.
This is the thing. I mean? They don't lose anything by having a passionate content creator on their content creation programs, getting early assets and access to things. And yeah, it doesn't really make sense who gets what. And yeah, I think they need to look at that. And we mentioned it before, there was a real dark period during the marketing campaign for Shadows where they couldn't do anything right because it was just they had made mistakes. There was a lot of missteps where it was culturally inappropriate for them to do certain things. I'm thinking of releasing a trailer on a day of mourning in Japan, which was the day of the bombings on the underground. Obviously, that was culturally insensitive. There was also the merchandise, which had the broken Torii gate, which of course was destroyed in World War II and reflected in Nagasaki, I believe. There was a lot of things that were very hurtful for people in Japan, where you can tell they didn't have people from Japan or aware, or just have a general awareness on their marketing team. So hopefully they learn from past mistakes with Black Flag. Maybe they're just worried they're going to upset more people with what they're going to do. So I just hope they take a bit of time. Yes, a bit of bravery would be nice, but I just hope they don't upset people. Like just be mindful and cautious. Like get people to proofread what you're gonna say, what you're gonna release, and just have a nice positive marketing campaign, because Shadows was so toxic in that the run up to that game launching. It wasn't a fun time to be a community member either, because we couldn't really defend it. And then there was so many people. It brought out the grifters who were attacking because of the diversity angle, and they really went in hard, like the YouTubers and everything. There was millions of views on these huge videos, and yeah, I discussed it in my episode with Willis Makes Movies. He was sort of going into depth about what he'd seen on the internet as well, and it's people using like clips of Yasuke in certain ways, and it's all like race and diversity was the focus on that. And hopefully if they have a shorter campaign or no marketing campaign at all for Black Flag, we can just have a positive launch and it just won't get dragged down by the marketing.
Yeah, I absolutely, at that time of being like stepping into that into that community and going, right, this is what I want to do. I love Assassin's Creed. Let's try this. And then to come in at that time and be like, wow. And I hadn't been in the AC community that long at all. And it was like, it's really toxic. I thought everybody liked Assassin's Creed, but clearly not. And from the stuff that you were seeing, like you said, I saw clips of people as Yasuke kicking a Japanese woman and then saying, oh, look, he can kick a Japanese woman. What's Ubisoft doing? Like, yeah, but Ubisoft didn't release this footage. You did. You went out of your way, found a Japanese woman, kicked her, and then said that it was Ubisoft's fault. And we know from playing the game that you can't actually do that with a civilian. You can do it with the civilians, like alerts in castles and stuff that let everybody know that you're there. Like level 1, I think they are, but they're not a civilian. The game doesn't let you hurt civilians. It just doesn't let you do it. But there was so much negativity around it because they clipped certain things and just showed what they wanted to show. That it just invited so much hate and just so much anguish.
It was horrible to be a part of it, and even to just be like trying to promote Assassin's Creed Shadows in a positive light. I mean, obviously I'm an ambassador for the brand, so doing all I could really. Our team are generally very positive, but it was a time where we were just being drowned out by the hatred in general. And we don't want anything like that with Black Flag. And hopefully people will remember it fondly. There's nostalgia will play a part. It's been a while since you've had an Assassin's Creed game that's already been released, that we already know a lot about. And Yeah, hopefully we can have a nice positive launch and we can all get behind it as a community. And regardless of, I know it's not your favorite game, you've got your issues with it, but I'm sure you'll give it another chance and see what you think of the changes when it does launch. So it'll be interesting. I'm actually very interested to know your opinion when it does finally launch. And hopefully I'm still around in the community by then. Obviously, you guys know I'm dropping off in March for baby number 2. But yeah, hopefully. If not, I can always check it out on the podcast. I'll try tuning in every
Yeah.
Sunday still.
I want to enjoy it. I wanted to enjoy it at launch. I wanted to, like, I love pirates. Pirates are what I want to. I love pirates. I love that whole sort of thing, and it just didn't. It never felt like an Assassin's Creed game to me ever. And then it makes me laugh that people complain about the RPG games but glorify Black Flag for the same reasons that they hate the RPG games. And now I disliked it on my own, but I'm very stubborn. And when people come into my live and be like, you should like it because it's great and it's the best, I'm like, no, that makes me dislike it even more. I just don't want to touch it. But I have been very open that if and when it gets released, I will happily sit here and I will, whether I'm struggling with it or not, or I'm enjoying it, I'm going to give it 110% of my. It won't change my opinion of the original, because for me the original will always be down there on the list. But if they change a couple of things and they lean into this pirate game, this RPG style that it always was, but just didn't have the name. If they lean into that a little bit more, maybe, who knows, I might enjoy it. It might be up there, but we just don't know. And this is the thing. Like, there's so many people out there that, like, I found loads of people from doing TikTok that don't like Black Flag just as much as I don't. So there are people out there that are waiting for this because they want to like this game. They want to play it. So just give us something, anything, just a little snippet. Like I said, even if it's just a black screen and it just comes up Black Flag resynced, anything.
Well, before we mentioned, obviously, there's the Xbox conference in January, but we've also got Assassin's Creed Day and Christmas Day. Can you imagine if they just dropped the Black Flag trailer on Christmas Day?
Imagine if they just shadow dropped it on Christmas Day. That'd be
wild.
That would be crazy.
We know Ubisoft have a game coming out before March, April. I think they said in it was the annual reportings. So there is definitely a game. We don't know if it's Assassin's Creed, which is yet to be announced and released. So we will see, I guess, on that one. And whilst we're talking about sales of games, James, you've written on the sheet, Assassin's Creed titles are part of current PC game sales. Is that on Steam or is that Ubisoft Store?
So I'm pretty sure it's on Steam. All Assassin's Creed games are part of a PC sale. I'm pretty sure, I can bring it up just to doubly check, but I'm pretty sure that games like Valhalla are now like £7.
Wow.
Which is great because the amount of I don't like Valhalla, but the amount of content that you can get for that is crazy.
Really?
Yeah, like that is big, and it will add to you, obviously, the sale numbers. I will say, Zephyrus posted, I don't know if you saw it on his Twitter, that he posted the numbers for player counts of recent Assassin's Creed games.
No, I didn't see this.
Even though everybody hates the RPG games, the top 5 Assassin's Creed games are all the RPG games.
Really?
Like in number playing, and Origin out of all of those has the lowest player count. Like it's
That's
still
a
in the
shame.
top
I
five.
like Origins.
Everyone was like, how can Origins have the least player count when it's the best RPG game? So it's okay. So Assassin's Creed, they're having, oh, sorry, Valhalla you can now get for £4.99
That's
on
crazy.
Steam. That's down from £59, £49. So it's a 90% off. Shadows has a 50% off. You can get it now for £30. Odyssey you can get for £7.50. Origins £5. Black Flag £10. Unity £3. I think that's a bit expensive, but Mirage and the new update, so the Allured update, is now £13.50.
Wow.
Syndicate you can get for £5 10p.
I think it's crazy, you know, when you think about how much it costs to create these games, how many people were involved, and you can get them for like £3 or £4. I think it's crazy that games.
When you think about it, maybe this is how, like the Ezio games, they're £3, £3.70, £2. Assassin's Creed 1, £2.15.
Wow!
Like these are some big games you can get now that are. This is massive. Like the discounts are crazy. Like 90%
sale of the year. I don't remember them having sales this low. There's probably a good time if you've got any gaps in your Assassin's Creed game collection. Let's say you're missing one or two. Now's a good time to fill that gap, I guess, if you're a PC player.
Yeah. So, Syndicate, a DLC for Syndicate, The Dreadful Crimes, 85p. Jack the Ripper. Yeah, Jack the Ripper is £1.80.
That's crazy, really, when you think about it. £1.80. Portion of chips is more than that.
Yeah, like it's actually crazy that the amount of, like, not that it makes much difference, but the Origin Season Pass, which gives you access to all of the major expansions for Origins.
The hidden ones, Curse of the Pharaohs.
Is £3.39p. Like you can't even buy. So the Hidden Ones DLC is 85p.
That's mad.
Like it's literally crazy. Like, so if you are a fan of Assassin's Creed, and like Cole said, if you are missing something in that in your arsenal for an Assassin's Creed game, head over to Steam now. Go play it. Go get it.
Because for all we know, come the new year, they'll shoot back up in price.
Yeah, I don't know when. Don't know when it will be. When it will go away, I have no idea. But now, if as an Assassin's Creed fan, is the time to buy it for your PC for sure.
Before, James, we were talking about the Assassin's Creed social media accounts, and I don't know if it's just me or if you've noticed this as well, but I feel like the AC official social media accounts are really pushing microtransactions at the minute. I think more than they have been. And I just get the impression that every time I go on like Facebook and Twitter, there's something more about a new pack that's coming out, or they're trying to convince us to buy something. And I've seen it in the last 2 weeks, and to me, it feels quite desperate. And I also heard from, I think it was the interview with Simon and Joe Raptor that I mentioned before, that microtransactions pay for the free content. So things like updates coming out for games, and obviously not the Alula release for Assassin's Creed Mirage, because we know that was Saudi funded, but in general, like parkour updates and things, that's only made possible through microtransactions. And I don't know if this is just like a sales tactic, like, oh, guys, buy this and we can give you cool updates, like nice finishing moves or whatever, however they want to spin it. But I don't know. I'm just getting the impression that microtransactions are everywhere at the minute. And before you mentioned that you loaded up the game and you're seeing them advertised, and I wonder if they're really pushing them at the minute. I wonder if maybe sales are down in terms of microtransactions and they're trying to improve them. But yeah, so for me, as like someone who's not really playing an Assassin's Creed game right now, I'm sort of on the outside, and I'm done with Shadows. I don't see me playing it again for a little while unless they add something really good. I'm not drawn in by any of the editions. It feels a little bit desperate from what I've seen. And how do you see it?
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you. I do think that it makes sense that any money they make from any sale of any game, whether it's microtransactions or the full game or whatever it might be, it makes sense that that would pay for the free content. Like it's free to us, but there are people that are working on it, so they need to be paid. You know, and resources cost money, so that makes sense. But I do feel like it's a very much a push on. Let's buy this. We've talked about Attack on Titans before, and how originally it come across that you were going to get the new outfit on completion of the DLC. Sorry, but you didn't. You finished it, and a pop-up pops up and goes, "This outfit is now in the store. Head on over. Press and hold A and head on over." Or when I loaded up, so I've been at work today. Shadow's got its update. Last time we had an update for Shadows, I had to manually start the update myself. So I loaded up Shadows. It had already done. And the first thing that pops up when it loads up is straight away, "Oh, we have new elemental armors. Are you able to control them? Head to the store right now." It's like, why? Like, I don't need to. The thing that should pop up when we're loading up Shadows right now is the stuff about the Rift, like the new Rift mission. Give that the main focus. Maybe that will encourage people to be a little bit better, feel better about it, as opposed to Ubisoft's just being greedy. And again, it becomes really difficult to defend them on this, because you can't sit here and go, "Oh, they're not doing that," because they are. And it's really frustrating. Like, microtransactions have been around in Assassin's Creed games for quite some time. This is nothing new, but it feels like every year it gets more and more and more and more. Like, Valhalla had so many. I felt Shadows, Mirage doesn't have that many. Like, even like armor packs and stuff, it doesn't seem to have that many comparable to the others, whereas Shadows has a fair few outfits and weapons and stuff. And I'm just like, it boggles my brain on how they can do this.
I wonder if it's the influence of Tencent. They're known for their microtransactions in China. Obviously, there's the merger now of Vantage Studios. I wonder if maybe they've come in and they're like, right, we're not making enough money from microtransactions. Let's really push it so that we have some kind of marketing money or money for more Assassin's Creed projects. Maybe they've come in. They're like, right, you're not being hard enough. You need to get more sales on microtransactions. Because I genuinely feel like it's everywhere at the minute. Attack on Titan was an ad for a microtransaction.
Yeah.
Twitter's posting about them. Facebook's posting about them. You've loaded up Assassin's Creed Shadows. It's coming up with it straight away. Like, it's really everywhere right now. Yeah. It's not subtle anymore. They're trying to redirect us to that store to buy things. That's how I feel anyhow.
It could be Tencent, specifically with Shadows, but I don't know. I would probably say that we can't sit here and not that we are blaming Tencent, but I don't think we can sit here and say wholeheartedly with any ounce of critical thinking and go, yes, this is Tencent's fault, because like I said, we've had Ubisoft Assassin's Creed games since, I think it's Brotherhood, had microtransactions, really, when you think about outfits for multiplayer or whatever it might be. They've always been here, but now it's getting more and more. And I think it really started, I've always said it really started with Black Flag, but I think Unity really jumped into that as well. And since Unity, they're just getting more and more every year. Like I said, Valhalla has probably the most amount of microtransactions that I've ever seen, at least with Shadows. Not that I'm justifying it for anyone listening. At least with Shadows, it gives you the option to buy a pack with the horse, with the weapons, with the outfits. Whereas Valhalla, the horse, the armor, and the weapon, and the eagle were all sold separately. So it has like hundreds of them. So I don't think we can sit here and 100% say that it's Tencent's fault. They probably do have some form of influence on it now, and probably like, right, we need to try and increase our income a little bit. So that could be the way, but I feel like it's a Ubisoft practice at this point.
Quite possibly. So we'll see if there's any updates on that. Maybe they'll rein it in after Christmas is done, or maybe they'll double down and start promoting microtransactions daily. But to be honest, I'm not even surprised at this point. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of microtransactions. I don't think I've ever bought anything from the store, and I don't intend to anytime soon. Ubisoft often, when there's like early access to things, they'll ask if I want to like have them for like content purposes, you know, to promote like in videos and stuff, and I never really follow up on it. So I don't have these things. I could easily probably have access to all the gear packs and things, and it does not interest me in the slightest. It's not the sort of content I want to be making.
That's actually a good point, actually, because I wanted to talk to you about the packs in the store. So I am a sucker for a good armor or whatever. Haven't brought any with Shadows, because obviously the exchange part of the Animus stuff as well, where they take some of that stuff and they give it you for keys that you pick up throughout the projects. But there has been times where I've been like, oh, this is a really cool armor. It's only this much, or it's this. But in Valhalla, for instance, you could get Helix credits from doing stuff in game. I don't think you can't with Shadows. So I have been inclined to buy some armor packs occasionally. But that being said,
Helix points that you've earned in game rather than merchant. That makes sense.
But my question for you is, why specifically with Shadows are we determined to sell us a mythical outfit or an elemental outfit or something with a effect on it that has feathers falling? Whatever happened to a plain standard armor or outfit? Like in Valhalla, you can get, I think it might be Odyssey actually, You can get like a Roman outfit. You can get an Ares outfit, but there's no flames coming off the back. There's all these, like one of the armors for Narwhal that I've got is the bird one. I don't know if you've seen it, but I've got the bird one, and I got that from the exchange because I thought, oh, this is a really cool armor. And then I'm in a cutscene with it on, and there's just these feathers flying around me. I'm like, what? Like, why are we doing this? Why have we got armor sets that changes Narwhal's eyes and Yasuke's face and stuff? Why is this? Whatever happened to just a plain ordinary armor set? Why are we trying to lean? You decided that Shadows was going to be the most realistic one. It wasn't going to have mythical, and it wasn't going to have demons or anything in it. Yet every bloody pack I see has got smoke coming out of it, or ice coming off it, or whatever it might be. And I'm just like, what? Like, why are you thinking that this is the right way to go? It's really frustrating right now.
Yeah, that's a good point. I would say it's because they didn't utilize the mystery and the folklore of Japan so much as the other RPG games did. I mean, if you look at like Curse of the Pharaohs, I mean, going to the afterlife in Assassin's Creed Origins, you go to Atlantis in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So it's like they've really used like I can't think of the word right now, but you know what I mean, like the actual like myth. I don't know what you call it, like the legends and like the writings and stories. Yeah, they've really monopolized on that and like gone down heavy roots with it in terms of like DLC content, where this was more grounded and realistic in Shadows. So they're like, right, how can we work that into it? Oh, we can sell it as microtransactions, and then we can say it doesn't matter because it's the Animus, like you're buying it through the Animus store, so it's like a perk. But yeah, because it doesn't matter as much. But yeah, I'd say it's because they haven't really utilized it as well in that game, and they sort of did it in more subtle ways, you know, with like the yokai and stuff. But like I say, they never went hard on selling that narrative. Really, like they could have done like Japanese Beast DLCs and stuff, and the Underworld. I don't know an awful lot about it, to be fair, but like the legends and mysteries and stuff, they could have done so much with it, but they didn't. So I'm guessing that's why, to be honest. Maybe they've got like one or two people in a room, and it's like, right, make the fantastical stuff that wasn't in the main game, and it will sell because people haven't got the opportunity to have that from the main storyline. That's how I see it.
I just find it really like they could have done so much with it that they kind of just let it down, really. So, hi Ash, thank you for my presents.
Guys listening on Spotify, my wife Ashley's just jumped in the chat after like a 5-hour slumber or whatever it was. She dropped off early, and she's the one who created the presents for James. But sorry, I fell asleep. Welcome. We're coming to the end, actually. We're starting to wrap up a bit. We're getting into our final main topic. So you've joined us at a good time. So James, actually, this is interesting. You added this one to the discussion this week. This is Netflix supposedly buying Warner Brothers and Warner Brother assets. So they now have access to Warner Brother games as part of Netflix, or they will have when the deal is completed. And you've written, which could lead to the release of the Nemesis system, which we saw in War and Shadow of Mordor, which of course are the Lord of the Rings games. How do you feel about this, and would you like to see it in an AC game? So this is the idea of them stripping assets and perhaps selling a system from a game to other companies. So that's really interesting. I've never really heard of that, but I actually like the Nemesis system.
Yeah, me too. I know for a long time, people have been hoping to have the Nemesis system in other games, and it's always been a topic of conversation. But Warner Brothers, being a massive corporation decided to lock it behind a patent that only they could use. I believe the patent runs out next year, I think, for it.
Cool.
But if Netflix buy Warner Brothers, potentially that could nullify the patent, and Ubisoft could, Netflix could basically just leave it out to the free market or offer it up for sale for the biggest spender, I guess. So yeah, how would you like to see it in an Assassin's Creed game? And how do you think it would work? Because obviously in the Lord of the Rings games, it works in with the lore of like orcs and Uruk-hai and whatever dying and then coming back or escaping or whatever, and they learn how to fight with you. So would you like to see it in an Assassin's Creed game, and how do you think they should implement it if that's the case?
First of all, I was a huge fan of those games, so in particular Shadow of Mordor. And to give you guys listening, if you've not played Shadow of Mordor, that was the one that introduced it. And it was basically like a commander system where they had like ranked Uruk-hai or orcs stationed around the map who were in charge of an army. And once you killed them, and they'd all have like unique personalities and weaknesses, once you killed them, another one would replace it. And I think they were all like randomly generated, or there was like a certain amount they could like rotate around. Yeah. And they all had like special either powers or weaknesses, and like you could utilize that to your advantage. So some of them, for example, would be very prone to flame attacks. So if you were to use that on them, it would weaken them and damage them. And then it was almost like AI, like it was rotating around these different ones. And I actually thought when that game came out, Assassin's Creed Odyssey tried to do a similar thing with the mercenary system. I actually saw comparisons there. And I don't know if that was maybe Ubisoft's interpretation of it, where like different mercenaries with like unique personalities and not voice acting in particular, but like storylines you could read about in the database, they would come after you and you could take them and get unique loot. So I wasn't sure if Ubisoft had maybe tried this already, but I think it's difficult for Assassin's Creed to do this because in terms of the lore, you're basically generating like a game-generated character who doesn't really matter, if that makes sense. So once you kill them, you move on. There's no story repercussion or anything. But I think it worked really well in the Lord of the Rings games because this was set millions of years before, like Frodo and the Ring and everything. It was like a ghost mixed with if I remember right, it was one of the wanderers
like
who were like protecting
Ranger of Gondor and
Ranger. It was really interesting. They could do that though because they didn't really have like a film's lore or like a book lore. They sort of went and did their own thing with it in like the past of Lord of the Rings, and as we know, it's millions of years of Tolkien universe they could play with. But Assassin's Creed is more structured and hopefully linear as well. I think Assassin's Creed has to be linear to success. To be successful, as we saw in the Mirage DLC, you couldn't just attack targets one by one like you could in Claws of Awaji or even in the Shadows main game. And I think maybe if it does go up for market, Ubisoft could buy it for something like Far Cry, for example, or Splinter Cell. But I think Assassin's Creed needs to look at what works. And I personally think having like a focused narrative where you pick off each target one by one, you have repercussions, there are consequences. I think that works better. But like I said, I do like the Nemesis system, and Ubisoft could use it in other games, but I'm not sure about it in Assassin's Creed, to be honest.
This is something I've talked about, like, and I've been thinking about for a while. I've tried to do this, and I can't physically think about how they would get it to work in the game. Like, I've tried to think about how to get it to do, because with the Nemesis system, you could also like you stumble across an orc or whatever, and you'd fight him, and you could kill him, or you could weaken him and send him off. And if you weaken them, you could send them to a certain, like, they'd go away, they'd come back, they'd be a couple of levels lower than they were, and they'd have an interaction with you and them. But he would learn how you fight. He'd come back. Like, if you attacked them with fire last time, potentially they could be weakened to fire, or they're not bothered by fire anymore because they know that's what you use. I was trying to work out how to get it into an Assassin's Creed game. I don't know if it really bugs me, but I don't think it actually can. I think Assassin's Creed might be one of the only few games where I don't think it would work, unless you were able to do a way of, let's say, for instance, Ezio has killed 20 Templar soldiers or whatever. So the next batch of Templar soldiers learned how Ezio fought, which makes them stronger and would be able to combat Ezio. So if you kept using heavy attacks, they would be able to block heavy attacks, or that sort of way. The same sort of way as Tom, that horrible guy from Claws of the Wild did. Yeah, because I felt like during that fight, he learns from you as his. So potentially that could be. That's the only way I could see it working. I don't think in the sense of it working as it does in the Shadow games. I just don't think it would work as well.
Yeah, that's a fair way of looking at it. And whilst we're talking about Ubisoft potentially buying other games and assets from other people, did you see that they've actually just bought March of Giants?
I did see this. I don't know what that game is, though.
I'd never heard of it before, but it was in the closed alpha testing on PC earlier this year. And Ubisoft have bought out the entire game's rights and the entire development team. So I'm actually really happy to see this. I think it's really cool because one of them worked for Ubisoft already and then left and helped form this studio within Amazon. And it's cool to see that Ubisoft are like looking to the outside world and they are interested in buying other things. So that lends in nicely to what we said about the Nemesis system and potential purchase there if that becomes available on the market. But they've been welcomed in by the CEO of Ubisoft, Yves Guillemot, and welcomed in the two leaders of the project. And it's interesting to see because it is a Canadian-based studio that they've just inherited. They were Toronto-based. So, yeah, it'd be cool to see if they sort of move their offices to Ubisoft, if they stay where they are. But, yeah, it's just another asset for Ubisoft, really. And hopefully it does well because, you know, smaller projects obviously fund bigger projects. And, yeah, I'm actually quite interested to see after Ubisoft have had not a great year financially that they are able to buy other games, no matter how big or small. And you wouldn't think Ubisoft to be thinking like that currently, but you know, just before Christmas, they've gone and taken on board another project, and hopefully it does well. To be honest, I mean, this game was in the alpha, so when it does come out for a proper launch, hopefully it's bigger and better than what Amazon could have done with it, because I imagine Amazon owns a lot, and I don't know how much time and effort they can put into each one of their projects because they're a huge studio where Ubisoft have got the luxury of only really working on a select amount of projects, really, when you think about it. A handful of games really are in development or on the go at once. So, yeah, I wish them the best of luck with it. And interesting to see that Ubisoft are thinking like that, to be honest.
It does beg the question, though. We've discussed already them pushing microtransactions. We've also talked about potentially why nothing was shown at the Game Awards, because it costs so much money to post ads and what have you. But it begs the question, if they're really struggling for money, how have they managed to pull this deal out of the bag? If we're struggling to promote games or give us some details or whatever. Like what?
That is a good point. I'm going to look this game up a bit more so I understand it a bit better. March of Giants, it's called.
So I tried to find out how much it was, but I can't find it. But what I can find is that March of Giants was in development at Amazon Games Montreal, a studio that was established 5 years ago. Several former Ubisoft employees are returning to that company as part of this deal. Many of them were part of the original creative team behind Rainbow Six Siege, including Amazon Game Montreal founder and March of Giants creative director Xavier Marquise.
So this it's a free-to-play 4x4 war MOBA where you play as a giant, lead an army of soldiers, and deploy tactical structures known as battleworks on a ravaged urban land. So it sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's not really my sort of thing, but also I think For
not
Honor
really mine either, to be truthfully honest with you. But I see the potential of it, like Ubisoft picking up smaller games and making them big. You know, I mean, they've done this with like Rayman, for example. Is that right? I think that was originally with another studio years ago, and I think there's been others over the years as well. I mean, even like Splinter Cell. I mean, other game studios own some of the rights to Splinter Cell. So it's Tom Clancy originally, so there will have been some negotiations there in the early days, and even Star Wars most recently, you know, they picked up the rights to the Star Wars game, Avatar. Like, they are doing it on like a bigger level, but they've never really outright bought like the rights. That they just sort of like loan them, and I guess that's how it works. Really, is they sort of like do the project and then move on. Where this is, they've actually like outright paid a great deal of money, undisclosed right now. But yeah, I just find it interesting that Ubisoft are going down that road at the end of this end of year, and it might come up in the next fiscal quarter. You know, when they do the next financial report, so it'll be interesting to see how much they paid for it, how much you know the assets are worth once Ubisoft have got them. So yeah, we will see, I guess.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't begrudge anyone. I don't begrudge anyone buying anything or what have you. But I think for me, it just begs the question if they're buying companies and studios outright, so all of its employees are then coming to them. The game is free, so they're not making any money from game sales. Again, what are they making money from? It will be microtransactions.
It just loops us back to microtransactions. Yeah. It must be, or adverts, or I don't know how they're doing it, but there's money in it somehow.
But also, if it also goes back to if Ubisoft, are buying companies, and Shadows didn't sell very well, supposedly according to possible numbers, and all these different things. Somebody's buying microtransactions somewhere. They're getting money from something, and if it's not, it has to be from somewhere that someone's paying for something. Like, companies don't just. I've said it before. I don't think companies wouldn't keep pushing microtransactions if nobody brought them, and there's a reason that people. There's a reason they're pushing it, is because there's clearly someone out there that buys them. Yourself, you said you don't. I don't intentionally go out of my way to buy them. If I did, it would have to look fantastic. It would have to be something that I would massively want. But there clearly must be people out there that are like, yeah, let me buy it. So I think as long as people buy it, and it's always going to be there. So
yeah, I mean, that's the same with anything, isn't it? People are obviously not happy with Manchester United's ownership right now, for example.
Yeah,
But then people are always going to be buying tickets, so they're always going to have a stake in the club.
yeah,
Like you can't damage them financially to that level. And
yeah.
not that we want to
Well,
damage Ubisoft financially, of course, because we want them to create more Assassin's Creed projects and stuff. But as to like take a stance against microtransactions, I'm not a big fan of it. But the way I guess, take a stance is by not getting involved and just choose not to buy them and don't give
yeah.
them my funds in that sense. But everyone each their own. Everyone can do what they like. And I imagine some people will be spending their Christmas money on microtransactions.
Before
Do
before
what you
we move
like.
on to the next section, you're a United fan, aren't you?
I'm a big United fan.
I need to know what your thoughts were on the Bournemouth game.
Yeah.
I need to hear this. I need to
Oh no,
because I need
guys.
to, as a United fan, how are you finding this season? How are you coping with this? That should have been a game that you should have won. And how as a fan do you feel?
What I'm seeing from Manchester United, my team, is the inability to finish a game off. So
Yeah,
many times this year we've had the lead. We look like we should see a game out and finish it. And in the last 10, 15 minutes, we just sit back, fall asleep, and all of a sudden we're equal or we're getting beat. And it's happened
yeah,
so many times. I've lost the confidence in the team to be able to get wins. If we'd won these games, which we should have won, we'd be like fourth in the league now, where we're sixth, which is still a decent position. But to be honest, I can't see us getting many wins now. I just see us going in for a draw. Like we played really well against Bournemouth. You mentioned that
yeah,
was the 4-4 game last night. Crazy game. We
yeah,
should have killed that off ages ago, really. And even like against Everton, they had a red card in the first 10 minutes or
yeah,
something. We should have put that to bed. We just can't finish a game. We need to just really have a look at ourselves. But I think the football itself is good to watch. I'm actually a member of Manchester United, so I've got a membership. I can go to any game I want to in the Old Trafford Stadium at home,
yeah,
but I just don't have the need to go and see them. Like I could easily go and watch all these games at home, but
yeah.
I just feel like I'm going to come away disappointed because it's just going to be a draw or a loss. We don't kill games off and get the 3 points. But we're off topic now. But that is
Well,
my
off
answer.
topic, but I also want to say that I'm a massive Aston Villa fan, and
Okay, you're coming up then.
anyone who knows football knows that next Sunday, Villa and Man U are actually playing. So
It's gonna be good.
that'll be a good game.
It's a
But I
hard
just
game
wanted to
for
know
us.
hey,
That's a really hard game for us.
I yeah, at Villa Park, I think
Yeah,
it'll be
yeah.
fun.
It's a tough away day, but for some reason we seem to play better in the away games than the
Yeah,
home games. I wonder if it's maybe added pressure or something. But who knows? I'll definitely be watching, even though I'm in work. And no Rally to Creed that day. Is
no,
Sunday is actually the 21st, which is Assassin's Creed Day.
yeah. So there you go.
Very good. So to wrap us up, guys, we're gonna move on to our writing and then our pitching and AC segment. So we've had one writing this week, and it was during this stream. So if anyone's got any comments at all, any messages or anything, feel free to send them. We do read them. So big thank you to Podge. She's one of our regulars, and he asks, "What jobs do you think AC protagonists would work in real life?" So should we go through the main games and do it
Oh
properly?
gosh.
Let's start
Um,
at the start. Altair.
Altia,
I think I know this one.
go on then.
Altair is really stoic and he doesn't really have a massive personality because it's been drilled out of him because he was brought up by the Brotherhood. I think he'd be a good funeral director.
That's not where I
Altair,
thought you were going with that. That is not where I thought
Altair,
you
I
were going
think
with
he'd be
that.
really good at hosting like funerals and have you don't need a great deal of empathy for it. You just need to be able
No.
to control your emotions and have that like deadpan look. The funeral march, you're walking down the street with the hearse behind you. That's Altair.
Okay. So I'll I'll do Ezio then. I think he's a ladies' man. He's also a man's man. So I'm going to say a Magic Mike dancer, just enjoying himself for all that it's worth. Then who we got next?
I was going to be boring with it.
Connor next, wouldn't it?
But yeah, I see what you mean. He's got the charm. He can make some money on the table. Next, should we do Connor?
Yeah.
Connor, some kind of like outdoorsman, some kind of craftsman or a hunter or something. Some kind of like, maybe he could make you a nice log cabin, chop up the wood. People who make like the nice wooden sculptures and projects. Some kind of crafter. That's what I think of Connor.
Oh, I was thinking more like a bouncer.
Okay, yeah, he's stoic as well, isn't he?
But he's also very anti-fun as well.
So there's 2 jobs for him.
Yeah. Then Edward.
Oh, you get Edward. Nice.
I think that's easy. He'd be a criminal. He'd be a bank robber or something. He'd be a bank robber for sure. Yeah.
Very good. Where does that bring us to? Unity?
Do we count Shay?
We can do. I wasn't going to, but we can do. Shay Cormac. What would he do? I don't know. I'm tempted to say like animal hunter because he's an assassin hunter. Maybe a hunter, similar to Connor, I guess. I can't think of what else he'd do.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's a tough one.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. Yeah, we'll go with that. That brings us on to Arno.
So Arno, I think he would be a Hallmark card writer. The little comments that you get inside a card. He's very in touch with his feelings. Is a bit of a crybaby. So yeah, I think he'd get really emotional when he's writing those cards.
Shed a little tear.
Yeah,
that's interesting. When I was thinking like a wine connoisseur for Arno because he's always got a bottle of wine in his hand when he's not assassinating.
That's too bougie for him. That's too much. Who's next? Now?
Syndicate?
Jacob and Evie and Jacob.
Double act in terms of like, I don't know, like on stage together. I just think at the start of Syndicate, it's like see them daily at Covent Garden. It's like the Unstoppable Fry Twins. Maybe they'd have some kind of magic act or something. Yeah. These two bounce off each other. They got great personality.
I think this one's really easy. I think Evie would be a museum curator.
Nice, I like it.
Love that.
Yeah,
and then Jacob would be either a bare knuckle boxer or just a boxer. I think he would do something in combat sports for sure.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
Who's next?
That brings us to you now.
Bayek.
Yeah, we're going to the RPG games now, don't we? So Bayek of Siwa. Some kind of bird handler. Maybe when you go to like a nice centre that's got birds of prey, and there's someone who has got like expertise in like flying the birds. That's like to me. He's got that nice bond.
Yeah, like when we go to Warwick Castle, they do the falconry centre stuff.
Yeah. You can work at a falconry centre. I think he's got a really nice relationship with the birds.
Okay. So then we got, we'll go canonically, so we'll go Cassandra.
Yeah.
Oh, what would she be? Ooh, that's a tough one.
I don't know. Time traveller.
She'd be a doctor. Doctor Who.
Yeah. Archaeologist.
Yeah. I think that would be a good one, actually.
She's seen every point in time, I guess, being around that long. Archaeologist. I imagine she's having interest in other cultures as she's walking through time at random. I can't think of anything better. What do you guys think in the comments? Do let us know.
Then we got Eivor.
Eivor, oh God.
Eivor, I think, would be.
This is really hard.
Yeah, I don't want to be like. I don't want to use the same answer again, but I think she would do something like. I think she'd be like a wrestler or something, like something quite physical.
Wrestler, yeah. I was thinking like an army sergeant.
Yeah, like I was thinking something military. Originally military. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I can see the wrestling angle as well. It's similar to Jacob, but for me, I can just think of like the way she shouts at Dag, for example. That's so like drill sergeant, military. Yeah. That's what I reckon.
Then we got Basim.
Basim. I don't know. That's a hard one. What do you guys in the comments think for Basim?
Oh,
does he have many interests? Really, he's what is he? He's a street thief at the start.
Yeah, I don't think he does really.
Maybe he can work for Disney on a new Aladdin movie or something. I don't know.
I was going to say he could be an actor.
Yeah, because he's got the ability to blend into scenarios. Yeah, yeah, maybe an actor. I could see that. You could sort of.
Then we got.
That's a tough one.
Then we got Norway and Yasuke.
Norway, gymnast.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive with the flips and parkour ability. Olympic
Japanese Olympic gymnast.
Yeah. It's the best we're going to get.
I think that's all we're going to get. And Yasuke, jeez.
I actually have no idea what he could do.
I think he would be the fisherman, actually. I think I think he would be the fisherman. Just likes a bit of quiet life. Rage. Yeah. Just a quiet life. Takes himself off to...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I actually can't think of one for Yasuke, so that's the best we're going to get. Thank you for the question, Podge. That was very difficult on the spot.
Yeah.
Hope you like their answers. Do let us know if you have your own list. Send in your list, guys, for what you think the Assassin's Creed protagonists would be working as in real life. Obviously, we know Desmond Miles would be a bartender, so that's the easiest one when it comes to modern day. And we'll leave it there before it gets too complicated. And that sort of rolls us on to the final segment. And it is a Christmas episode. We've not been very Christmas themed, to be honest, but pitching an Assassin's Creed game, imagine this. The year 0, Jesus Christ has a piece of Eden. I just want to say, guys, if you're a Christian, this is not an offensive take on the Bible. Obviously, in Assassin's Creed lore, we know that he did have the Shroud of Eden, and it was used to attempt a resurrection, which failed. And then the Bible was written after that in Assassin's Creed lore. I looked it up in the wiki today. But I also think it would be cool to see a game, or maybe even like a short animated film or something showing Jesus Christ and his illusions, possibly with an apple of Eden, turning water into wine, part in the Red Sea. That's not him, is it? That's Moses. I'm not great on the Bible, guys. Anyhow, this could take place in Nazareth, Israel, Bethlehem, Palestine, all the disputed territories that the ongoing conflict is in today. It'd be really interesting to see how the Bible was written, from other people's perspectives. Obviously, like you have like the book of Matthew and all the other books that come within the Bible. It's a collective tome. So it'd be cool to see their perspectives, and maybe even, I'm not saying play as Jesus, because I think that would really upset people, but just have like an outer perspective on how he managed to persuade people. I'm imagining an apple of Eden. The Romans would probably be the enemy in this. And I guess it ties in with our Christmas episode. But what do you think about that, James? Do you think it would upset too many people, or do you think it'd be interesting?
I definitely think it would upset too many people.
I don't mean to upset people with this pitch.
But that being said, I actually think it would also be really fun as well at the same time. Like not necessarily play as Jesus, like you said, but even if you were to play it as a disciple or something, potentially my only concern would be how assassin like would it be, because obviously we had Origins, like Bayek and Aya, they created the Creed. Then we had Odyssey, which is before Origins and is essentially which I would say is more of an origin story than Origins actually is. So if you were Jesus, that would be way before all of that. So my only concern would be how Assassin's Creed like would it be. Obviously, we wouldn't talk about assassins. We wouldn't talk about Templars. So that would really worry me. But other than that, I like the concept. I like the idea.
I guess it comes down to like philosophy and conflict and ideology rather than like the actual assassin and Templar orders involved. I imagine it would be more like Jesus Christ is trying to protect free will or something.
Yeah.
There are people who want control, which of course would be like Pontius Pilate, I think it would be.
Yeah, Pontius Pilate is the one that. So Pontius Pilate is the one that nailed Jesus to the cross.
Yeah. And this is the thing. You think I'd know more on it because I went to a Catholic school, but I've never read the Bible or anything. I'm not actually a believer myself. But let us know, guys. Obviously, not trying to spark any sort of conflict or any backlash, but just an idea. And I think because Assassin's Creed's covered it already in the glyphs with the shroud and everything, they've already established that Jesus existed in the Assassin's Creed world. They could probably get away with doing it and not offend too many people if it was done tastefully. But yeah, I just think that would be interesting. It wouldn't really be like I say, the Assassin Templar story, but it'd be like an ideology. So it's cool to see that you haven't like jumped on it, James, and been like, "No, Cole, you can't say that." But it's Christmas, and I'm thinking about the origins of Christmas. Jesus' birthday's coming up next week.
It was Christmas. Because it was Christmas, I was like, okay, I can kind of see where we're going with this. But as I do with most of when we're talking about pitching an AC game, I bounce it off Nicola first. I'm like, what do you think about this? Like, do you think this sounds okay? And I mentioned Jesus Christ to her, and she was literally doing something. We were in a shop, and she literally looked up at me and went, "What?" I was like, "It's what is put. There's a piece of Eden. There's a crowd. There's stuff going on." But I think these are the fun bits, aren't they? Because we can talk about settings that would work really well. And we've done it with like Scotland, Australia, Russia, Poland, all these different places. But it's nice to just have ones that there's no way that they're going to make a Jesus Christ Assassin's Creed game.
Right.
Like, there's absolutely no way they'll do it. But this doesn't mean that we can't talk about these things. There's like they essentially made a Assassin's Creed caveman with Far Cry Primal.
Yeah.
So they've pretty much. So it's nice to just have these no realms of possibility to it whatsoever, that we can just have a little bit of a laugh and have a little discussion about. So I'm all for it, mate. I'm here for it.
Now you've said Far Cry, I'm thinking this would actually work really well as a Far Cry game.
Yeah, see, and this is the thing, like, yeah, it might not work as an Assassin's Creed game, but it would definitely work as something else.
Well, let us know in the comments, guys, what you think of that. Like I say, not trying to offend anyone. Just thought I'd put it out there. It is in Assassin's Creed lore, so it'd be interesting to actually see this rather than just writing on the glyphs.
Yeah.
So massive thank you to everyone who's listened tonight. Merry Creedmas. Just to let you guys know, we're ranked on Google. You can find a ton of our episodes on YouTube, Spotify, TikTok. You can Google Riley the Creed, you'll find us. One way you can support the show is by rating us on Spotify. You can get involved with comments on YouTube. We'll cover your take on things. You can message us directly on any of our social media platforms. The social media team will feed it back to us. You can send us a message on the Once Again Before website. Top right hand corner, it says contact. Big thank you, James, for joining me tonight, and especially for the Secret Santa present. I really appreciate it. You guys can get in touch, and we're looking forward to seeing your take on things, and especially your list of Assassin's Creed protagonists and what they do in real life for jobs. I'm excited to read all your lists on that. Next episode, this is a double episode week. It's on Thursday night, and this episode will be out before that, so you might even have access to both episodes by then. Number 23 is going to be hosted by myself, and I'm joined by The Exile from the Podyssey. He's a well-known YouTuber in the Assassin's Creed community, and he hosts the Podyssey, which is a really great Assassin's Creed podcast. Looking forward to getting into that. And then the one after that will be next year. So, wow, I'm going to be doing the final episode of this year, it seems.
Yes. So, how do you feel about doing the last episode of the year?
I think it'd be nice, I'll find a way to, see the year out. It's a good, strong ending to the year. Episode 23 it'll be, and then we'll keep pushing on, bigger and better. We've got some really strong guests lined up for next year as well. A few in development. So, yeah, really excited. And like I say, massive thank you to everyone who's been listening. The TikTok gifts as well, which help support the show and the website costs as well. And, yeah, James, I was wondering if you wanted to announce your next big guest for next year, if you want to leave it for future.
Yeah, so as you are doing the last show of the year, I'm doing the first show of next year. That is crazy to even say, but our guest on the first episode is someone that is very, very big in the Assassin's Creed community. I messaged him months ago when we were talking about guests and stuff, because I wanted to get him on, because I'm pretty sure that he also does a podcast too. So that was something I really tried. I wanted to get him on. It never worked out. And about a month ago, on my personal account, I had this person follow me back, and it was crazy. This person has been in my lives a couple of times. They even sent me gifts. And today I received an email from a message from them on TikTok to ask me about our embargo stuff and what's going on. So it's really nice that he managed to talk. He wanted to ask. He's massive in Assassin's Creed, but he wanted to ask me on what our embargo stuff was because of times and what have you. So it was really nice. He also messaged while we were live to say that he was looking forward to the podcast. I'm not sure if he's seen this episode yet, but if he has, it's been great him being here. But on our first episode back on the 4th of January at 10 p.m, I am going to be having AC Johnny on as a guest, and it's going to be great. It was like when I said that he followed me on TikTok, he sent me a message on TikTok and all these things. I genuinely thought it was a hack or it was someone making it up or whatever. I was so starstruck. So it's going to be a good episode. I'm really looking forward to it.
That is huge and a massive start to the new year. I'm looking forward to seeing where the podcast goes next year, and it's only going to get bigger and better. Hopefully we get some developers on as well. Other podcasts, like you mentioned, AC Johnny runs one, so excited to get into things with him. Maybe even some voice actors. the TV show, like we mentioned before, we'd love to get some of them involved. And yeah, bright future ahead, even though I won't be a part of it after March for 6 months. But James, I'm sure it's in very capable hands. Looking forward to seeing what you do with it. Loads of plans in development. And before I go, James, and sign off, I just want to say once again, massive congratulations on the financial win. I think that's incredible. Honestly, I think that's fantastic timing, and what perfect way to celebrate Christmas as well, knowing that you don't have to worry about wedding costs anymore. Fantastic, mate. I'm so happy for you.
Yeah, it's a massive weight off our shoulders. There was a lot we would have to talk about for next year, that we were like, right, we're really going to have to start budgeting. Potentially it's something we can still look at, but it's not as definitely important right now because the wedding's pretty much paid for. So yeah, it was a massive boost to myself and Nicola this week. So yeah.
That's amazing. So anyone wants to reach out to us, you know where to find us, and have a great Christmas, Assassins. If you celebrate it or not, happy holidays, Merry Creedmas. Take it easy, guys. Hope you enjoyed the episode, and we'll see you next time.